Robert here, and I got another special guest with me, Adam of Adam Does Movies. Thank you so much for joining me, Adam.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
Yep, so yeah, you've done so many reviews. I mean, one of your more recent ones you just did was Home Sweet Home Alone. Good God, what a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So I guess one of our good topic just to start asking is, do you think there's hope for Hollywood with all of the movies they have planned out with COVID throwing so many wrenches into everything and streaming services and whatnot?
Man, I hope so. It's kind of, like it's kind of like my religion. People go to church or watch football on Sundays, and I'm just looking forward to the next movie to release. So, I mean, yeah, there's definitely a lot of my worry isn't so much COVID and getting back to the theaters. It's if people are going to go back to the theaters or if Hollywood's just going to say we're putting everything on streaming now. We got
Yeah.
Netflix, we got Paramount Plus, we got Peacock, we got Hulu, we have Disney Plus. I mean, there's an avalanche of
Oh
streaming
yeah.
options now, and every
Oh,
one of these guys is pining for their like slice. They're putting lots of money into this.
hmm Yeah, definitely. They are. Everyone's just putting so much money into everything, and they're just like, we are betting the horse, the whole kit and caboodle on it. It's like,
Right.
and yet, and at the same time, what I'm most fearful though is Blu-ray or any type of physical disc media. I'm worried about that going the way of the dodo, or at the very least, if they do it, it's going to be bare bones. No, I'm afraid special features are going to just disappear. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I just I did a video, I think it was just a couple days ago, basically on this conversation where it's
Hmm.
we're losing some of the magic when everything
Yeah.
is going to streaming. There's none of this. I mean, it happens. We had it with Squid Game recently, where it seemed like
Hmm.
a good chunk of people have been talking about it. There was Game of Thrones a couple years
Right.
ago, more TV show based though.
Hmm.
Less of our. Are we going to get another End Game? Are we going to
Oh
get another?
yeah.
That was the last time I went to the theaters. I was like, oh
Hmm.
my god, this is
Oh yeah.
amazing.
Same here.
Not so much the movie, but more just the audience and that
Hmm.
visceral response from what was happening.
Right.
And I do fear that we're going to get less and less of that, and people are just going to kind of stay isolated to their houses and watch things at home.
Hmm.
It might not, it's just we're living through different times, so we'll see where it goes.
Definitely, definitely. But well, like I was just saying, I mean, it's like if I lost, the special features like audio commentaries, just all of these insight and stuff. I fear for what that's going to do for a lot of people who want to be directors or
Right.
actors and whatnot. Because like for a lot of people, myself included, that inspired me so much with just getting these movies, listening to the commentaries, and just hearing what they have to say. I mean, I'm one of those who downloaded as soon as someone found it those three-band James Bond commentaries just so I can hear them once I got the movie sets. It's like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that used to be kind of a thing I would do too. That was half of the quality of the movie was getting those bonus features, and you almost felt superior to others. You're like, I know
yeah,
something you don't about
hmm
Donnie Darko. You
yeah,
know,
exactly. Or the fact that right when Blu-ray was coming out, I still remember I'm gonna hold on to the getting DVD as much as I can until Iron Man 2 came out, and that was the first movie where if you got the DVD, you got jack shit. If
oh
you got the
really?
Blu-ray, you got everything. Yeah, that was the one where
Wow,
if you wanted the commentary, you need the Blu-ray. If you got the DVD,
nice.
and then after that, I went Blu-ray and never looked back. But now I'm not doing any of that 4K stuff though. But because it's like,
Yeah,
oh, it's just fancy schmancy. It's like when you had the 3D Blu-rays. Remember those?
yeah, I do. I never got on that train. I didn't have a 3D TV, but
Yeah, me neither. I only
yeah.
got those if there was no other choice.
I mean, if we would have kept getting movies like Avatar, to
Hmm.
the quality level of 3D that Avatar had, then maybe I
Oh
would have
yeah.
jumped on 3D. But it seemed like that was it. It was like here's Avatar, and then Hollywood just kind of threw 3D on everything else, and it didn't really.
Uh,
It darkened
yeah.
the picture. It didn't really have anything to it. So
No
yeah.
kidding. And I gotta say, one of the videos you did recently that I fully agree with, Speed Racer needs a sequel. That is
Oh
one of the
man,
most underrated movies out there.
I
That
love Speed Racer. Look at
oh
this jet.
yeah. Hmm.
Look at
Yeah,
it. Look
I
at this.
love it.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
My color goes in and out, but whatever. Yeah, Speed
Yeah.
Racer is fantastic. So
It
criminally
is.
underrated too.
I mean, it's one of those perfect adaptations almost. At the point where I think that's the flaw of it. People forgot
Yeah.
what Speed Racer was about. They had this sugar coated version in their minds. And then once you actually see it, you're like, oh, this is dumb. But if you actually watch the show, it was that dumb.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was very campy, and I wasn't like a Speed Racer anime fan. I really liked the
Yeah.
Wachowskis at the time and
Mm-hmm.
the movies they were putting out.
Oh, yeah.
But man, I remember seeing those trailers and thinking, "Oh, this
Oh,
looks
yeah.
horrible."
I was pumped for
I
it.
I thought it looked awful. The
Oh,
trailers, I mean, I thought they were so bad.
it was the
But then
music. It was the music that got
well,
me.
and they kind of made it look like it was going to be darker and edgier with, the music
True.
for sure. And these are the
Mm-hmm.
guys that came off of The Matrix. So there was
Mm-hmm.
there was expectation that they were going to make another film in the same vein as that, and they went
Oh,
like
yeah.
completely opposite.
Yeah, I think this was to prove to people who are coming to say like, "Oh, don't let them do Plastic Man or don't let them do any of these." I think this
Sure.
was meant to prove to them, no, we can capture the feel of the original more than
Right.
other people, and unfortunately, they did too well of a job.
Yeah, yeah. It was definitely a
So,
movie that I
one
knew,
of the best climaxes though in all of movies. One of
oh my
the
god, it's so good. That montage going back to
Yep.
previous clips from the film. Oh, just
Oh
chef's
yeah,
kiss.
that's just so. Especially at the
Yeah,
once the moment's like he just reignites it, goes right into it. You're just like, it is
so good.
ecstasy
Yeah.
on your into your eyeballs.
Hmm.
I yeah. So now speaking of the Matrix movies, I know I didn't get a chance to watch your movie on those. What has your been thought? Because I always feel like I have to be a defender of the sequels because
You would have been defending them against me years
oh I would
ago.
have
Years
yeah.
ago, not
Mm-hmm.
now.
Oh, not now.
I've come around, and I don't know if it's because I'm older and I'm seeing. I don't know. I'm getting kind of more appreciative of the stuff that came out
Oh
because I
yeah.
think the new stuff's just not doing it for me anymore. So
Mm-hmm.
looking back, rewatching all the Matrix movies not too long ago with my daughter. She's
Mm-hmm.
12, so experiencing that through her lens was
Mm-hmm.
really fantastic. And
Oh yeah.
oh, it was such a great experience. I always liked Reloaded for what it was. I
Mm-hmm.
thought it was a cool, kind of middle
Oh
cap.
yeah, that's always the one people were more likely to give the benefit of the doubt to.
Yeah,
It was always Revolution, which okay, here's my defense. I think
sure.
I like it because I got it. I understood the whole point when you real boil it down to it. Everything we thought we knew was didn't matter. The whole point of it was the Oracle trying to teach the Merovingian that you need humanity, that they are needed, they need to be free, but in a way that humanity could never done on their own, which was basically
Right.
if we keep on trying to strive for perfection, we're going to cause our own downfall, which almost happened with Smith. If they didn't have Neo, Smith would have taken over and destroyed everything. And I think it
Yes.
was one of those cases where someone as calculating as the Merovingian, not the no, the architect. Sorry, not the Merovingian, the architect. You had to drill it into him, so it's basically like you had to bring him to the point of disaster for him to finally be like, "Okay, you've made your point."
I Two things. One, Agent Smith is like top 10 villain
Mm-hmm.
of all time. I thought what the Wachowskis did with that character and how they brilliantly brought him back for the sequels as a
Mm-hmm.
virus who's
Yep.
just screwing the Matrix over. Just so
Which is so
great.
ironic because he called humanity a virus.
Right. He becomes what he hates the most.
Mm-hmm.
He's destruction, he's chaos, he's anarchy. The second thing is it wasn't so much that I didn't get it and people didn't get the Matrix
True.
Revolutions. It's that kind of like with Last Jedi or anything else that's
Oh yeah.
polarized or is polarizing. It didn't
Mm-hmm.
tell the story that I was hoping it would or
Oh
that it was
yeah.
leading to in the original movie. It was about freeing minds. It was
Yeah.
about getting people out of the Matrix. And then
Mm-hmm.
by the last one, it really wasn't about that. It was about
You're
saving
right.
this rinky-dink little cave of people. And
Yeah.
like you said, the Oracle has her little game, kind of like Lost in the last season,
Mm-hmm.
where it's about the
Oh, I
man
can
in
agree
black
with
and
you.
white.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we
Yeah.
doing?
Oh, I agree.
So
When you put it that way, I completely understand what you're saying, and especially when you compare to Last Jedi, I really understand what you're saying there. But
but
yeah.
as I said though, I've softened a lot on
Mm-hmm.
Revolutions. I look at it now, and now that the hype is completely gone and my
Mm-hmm.
disappointment has been put in check, I can watch it, freely and say, all right, I I don't love what they did here, but there's still
Right.
plenty of great moments, especially that final fight with Smith and
Oh,
Neo.
Superman before Superman came out. Because if you really
Yeah,
look at Man of Steel, they took so much
that
from Matrix.
rain fight was so good, and
Mm-hmm.
just kind of like the eeriness of the line of Smiths just
There's
watching on
like,
the side.
yeah,
Yeah,
just that
so
soul, the
cool,
smiles.
so
But
cool.
with Resurrection, though, I am curious. I have no idea where they're gonna go with
I mean,
it.
that's good. I'm glad we don't know, because
Yeah,
that
because
was always the charm of the Matrix, is you had no idea going into that movie what you were going to get.
oh, I know. And here, in this case, I'm just like, okay, it's clearly going to be a case of rebirth and everything. And I'm positive they're going to explain away why some actors, like you have a Morpheus, it's not Lawrence Fishburne, even though from what I understand he wants to do it, but it's like it's a rebirth there. You have a
Yeah,
oh,
I can't tell if it's like a red herring with
yeah,
Fishburne, if he is actually going to be in it or what. We see
right,
obviously a different actor playing him in the trailers.
yep,
The beauty of the Matrix is, since they're just artificial programs,
exactly.
they can be in different shells.
Oh
Although
yeah,
I always thought that was the silliest part of Revolutions, is
mm-hmm.
the actress who played the Oracle died between the
Yep,
filming of 2 and 3, and so they
mm-hmm.
replaced her. But then they went all in and said, "All right, we're going to get another elderly black woman." And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you should have really drove the point home that they can be whoever they want, and put them in
Oh
like a
yeah,
totally different shell. Make it like a little
true, but
Asian
at least
boy or something. Let us, like, don't try to make her look like the other one.
true, but at least though she was a thinner, smaller, woman, and even
Yeah,
more elderly. So
yeah,
at least it was a
it was
case
just
where you're
funny.
like,
It's like, why does
oh
this program attach themselves so much to this type of body image? It's just kind
true.
of funny.
It reminds me of in DC Comics when you have the character of Father Time, how he always changes himself. But when like one time he's a black man, then he actually looks like an old man. And then when the New 52 came out, he was a little Asian girl
Right,
in
right,
a
yeah. Switch it
a
up.
schoolgirl. I know it's just like stuff like that. You're just like they said, why do we have to keep him a dude? Why do we make him a little Asian girl? But he has
Yeah.
the mind of a dude up there still. It's like, and yet he's still doing stuff like skip roping and everything. You're like,
Yeah.
okay.
I watched
But
the trailer to the new one a few times, and it definitely
mhm,
looks like they're doing a greatest hits montage of the first movie, at least. I
yeah,
saw scenes from that subway fight.
hmm,
There was that rooftop
yep,
helicopter sequence, except for this time, he's throwing stuff against the building. So
hmm,
I think they're definitely going to be, walking us back through history.
yep.
Um, I don't know. I'm curious. I'm very
Same
excited.
here.
People
But
were
yeah,
upset about the green coloring being gone, but I'm sure you remember,
mm,
Robert, at the
yeah,
end of Revolutions, they
yeah,
got rid of that green coloring and
yeah.
changed it.
Exactly.
They fixed the Matrix to be more in line with how it was supposed to look.
That's exactly it. And I'll say this as well. Anything to give Carrie Ann Moss basically another more work and everything, because what has she done much since The
I
Matrix?
don't know. She was in that Christopher Nolan movie like way
Yeah,
back. What was it?
right.
Memento. She was in
Yeah,
Memento, and then
yeah, and
that's
then,
it. I can't think
yeah,
of
it's like
anything else.
she's done like bit roles and everything. It's one of those cases like her star was on the rise, and
Yeah,
then worm.
I really don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, it is. But again, with just there are a lot of movies that are coming out that I am looking forward to. But even stuff with like Marvel, like I'm looking forward to Spider-Man, but it's because it's tagging my fan service buttons. But
Yeah, what do you think? Is it going to be
a multiversal story, I do.
well, I mean that's a give. I think that's a
Right,
given.
right.
There's 0% chance Toby and Andrew don't come back.
Oh
My
yeah.
question is, did Marvel drop the ball initially and the fan hype was so big that they're like, "Oh, fuck, we got to go back and like shoot some stuff to get these guys in here more," or do you think they actually got it right
I think they got it
on the first
right.
run?
I think they got it right. I think any addition might have been for Venom or something because
No,
you
I
can't
hope
you cannot
not.
tell me given that ending of Venom that's leading right into it. It
Like,
has to.
those movies are awful. I don't
Uh,
understand. Like,
I
Sony
got a
doesn't
dumb
make
fun.
good movies. It's so
True.
rare when they come out with a good movie these days.
Well, I
it's
had some dumb
incredible.
fun. I had some dumb fun though out of the Venom movies. But I will say this: I rank both Venom 1 and Venom 2 sevens, but for different reasons. But at the same time, with Venom Let There Be Carnage, it's one of those cases where you're like, you want more from Carnage. You're like, it's Carnage. You want
Right.
maximum Carnage, but then you realize but it's a movie. You can't just go right in and not even set up the character. You got to build up to it. You got to
Right.
set things up, and then you got to actually have there be a 3 act structure. Well, usually a 3 act structure. There's so
Yeah.
many stuff in there where you're like, it hampers it. It's like you can't, and it's not just Carnage. It's Venom's movie too. He needs an arc,
Right.
and I wish we had it better than what we got. But
It's like an hour and a half movie to shove that all in, and
yeah,
Carnage.
it's like
Carnage, I don't believe even really causes any carnage in the movie, which is weird.
a little bit of
He tries to get married.
yeah,
Which was a weird plot.
very
point.
weird. And then he gets killed off when he's like, I'm not such a bad guy. I mean, Venom made the right call there. It's like, yeah, sure, you're gonna pull that crap on me.
I am glad they changed. What's the guy's name? Woody Harrelson's
Yep.
look from
Oh yeah,
Venom
the hair.
1 to 2. He got rid
Yeah,
of the
because
carrot top.
oh boy, I mean, I
And
get
the
it.
freckles.
It
He lost
works.
his freckles too somehow. That
Yeah,
was
it
weird.
matches the comics, but sometimes you don't want to go with that look. There's some looks that don't work. That the curls.
Yeah, no. It's like the
No.
Wolverine yellow spandex. I never.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't try to translate that. Although they they teased it in one of like the Wolverine, but still.
Yeah, yeah, they
It would've been
teased
hard-
it,
It would
but
have been hard to pull off.
definitely, I definitely agree with that. But oh, with the X-Men, what are you ever hoping what they're going to do when they bring it to Marvel? Do you hope they're going to? Do you think they're going to screw it up?
I don't know. At this point, you might as well just start it over. Like
Yeah.
there was, the X-Men movies are so sloppy. X2,
Yeah.
X-Men United, and Days of Future Past are still like my favorites of.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I put them very high up in the comic
Oh,
book
yeah.
ranking. I think they're like top 10. But I'm just a huge X-Men fan.
Yep.
I mean,
So am I.
basically though, anything past Days of Future Past is just trash in my opinion. So I don't really care at this point.
The only thing I like.
Yeah. Hugh
Yep,
Jackman and Patrick Stewart got their send off in Logan. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Oh yeah. The only thing I would say that I liked about Apocalypse, and it's only if you get the DVD Blu-ray of it, was Jubilee finally getting a bit more of a role because she's been my favorite. Jubilee was my favorite because she was the go-to your entry level character in the anime series.
Animated series, yeah.
Yep, which I gotta say, them doing the new series, I'm looking forward to it. I am not happy with some people already trying to say, oh, they're gonna make it woke. I'm like, guys, they got as many people back as they can. Why are you?
Everything's such. I've never. I can't even go there. Like that term.
I know.
Is so ridiculous.
What is woke anymore? It's just
It's
like
everything. Everything's woke.
Yeah, everything's woke because we don't like it, or because here's what the real reason is. It's because they want to have something to bitch about for the next months, years, until the full release comes out, and then they'll be able to jump onto something else. They need a new topic, a bandwagon to jump on. That's why.
Yep.
But it's like if people were going to say, "Oh, Allison Court's not Jubilee," that was her choice. She doesn't want to do Jubilee. I respect that. I feel like it disappoints me a little bit, but it's like. It's her call. She's been saying this for years. She's proving that she meant what she said. So
right.
I am questioning on who they're going to get.
X-Men by default should be considered woke. I mean, it's
yeah, exactly.
It's been a pioneer of all those kind of social justice topics since the beginning of time. Like that's their whole thing. So,
exactly.
Yeah, call it woke. It is. Who cares?
Yep. Now I will say this. I've noticed that you're starting to get more people who have gone in. I've seen YouTubers who go into some movies that are claiming woke, where they at least go in trepidatiously. Like a bunch of Bond fans I saw were going into No Time to Die a bit hesitant. They're like, "Oh, I've heard all this stuff. Let's see how it is." Once they saw it, they're like, "Nope, didn't see it. Didn't see any wokeness. Didn't like a lot of stuff, but it wasn't woke." And it's like. But at the same time, you can understand why they were trepidatious about it. You're like, from what we're hearing, but that's as far as I go.
These grifting YouTube channels that are making shit up and acting like they have these high-end news sources that they don't have. So yeah, of course people are gonna go in now. Like I never went into movies 5 years ago being like, oh no, I hope someone doesn't have a line of dialogue encouraging women to do something or
not at all.
Shit.
I mean, I admit the only movie I ever went in expecting to be bad and it delivered on that badness was Last Jedi. I didn't know what to expect, but the one day I did was Ghostbusters 2016.
Yeah,
I knew that was going to be bad. It was
really bad.
And then I saw the extended version. Good God, I'm glad they made those cuts.
Did they add more dance sequences to
Yes, they
the?
had the whole number. The whole number
I
was
was
in there.
joking.
I'm not kidding. The whole number was in there.
I just remember in watching that in theater, singing. There's like
The
three
credits, yeah,
dance
the credit
numbers
during the
in a
credit.
Ghostbusters movie. What are we doing here?
Paul Fee had no idea what the hell he was doing
I got
at
a video.
all.
Oh, well, yeah, he's a total hack. I have a video
Hmm.
coming out. God, I gotta finish watching Ghostbusters 2 again for like the thousandth time. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it in a few years, and I like ahead of time teased that I was going to
Hmm.
defend Ghostbusters 2 because I like it,
Hmm. Hmm.
and people are like, "What? That movie's terrible." Blah 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 blah. So
Oh, jeez.
I got it in my head, and I was scared because I hadn't seen it in a couple years. I'm like, man, is Ghostbusters 2 bad? And I turned it on after 10 minutes. I'm like, no, fuck them. This movie's awesome.
Exactly.
They don't know what they're talking about.
Yep. Yep. I just got done playing the video game, which was basically Ghostbusters
Oh
3,
yeah,
and
Ghostbusters 3.
I
Yeah,
just realized now from if the leaks I've heard about Afterlife are true, then they took out. They're basically that game's been retconned out of existence, which is the
oh,
only. If they're true, I have no idea if they're true,
I haven't heard
but
anything about it. I'm actually amazed by like the lack of marketing for this movie.
oh
There's been what
yeah,
one and a half trailers. I haven't really seen
yeah.
much,
And it took
which
the
is
last trailer
fine.
for
I'm
them to
going.
finally
So
get the Ghostbusters in there. You think they'd be plastering them all over the place? It's like
yeah,
nope, they wait until the very end. Even then, we don't get a face reveal.
yeah. I don't know. My only concern is the movie is, I guess, very
Yeah,
serious and doesn't have many, much humor. The thing that
right.
was so great about the original movies is, well, obviously the dynamic of the actors, which
Oh
is
yeah.
impossible to replicate, but the
Hmm.
witty dialogue it was just
Oh
so
yeah.
subtly like punched at all the right times, and how
Exactly. And Bill
they let
Murray's
everything
improv.
breathe. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
You had improv when it was necessary with these older
Oh
movies,
yeah.
but you can tell the script is so tightly focused on
Oh
what they
yeah.
have to hit, and they're just doing it so well.
Yep, you knew exactly that Danny Aykroyd and Harold Ramis knew exactly what they were talking about, especially
Right.
Aykroyd. Aykroyd knew exactly what he was talking about, and all that mumbo jumbo techno babble stuff.
Of
It's
course, yeah.
like it's based off of real theoretical
Yeah.
paranormal science, and you're just like, wow, it's just.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I love about the game, though. I mean, have you played the game ever?
Yeah, I did. I played it back on the PlayStation 3 long ago.
Yeah, yeah, and I love about that story how it incorporates one, two. It makes a perfect trilogy in a lot of ways.
I can't
Going,
remember it that much. I just remember you go back to the hotel at one point and you
yep.
trash that again. I remember you're in a
Well, you find out about the
grave for a
slime.
while, and
You
yeah.
find out about the slime now. Turns out the slime, the mood slime, was the byproduct of a junior slore.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Yeah.
the slime stuff was a great idea. The one thing I can't remember, and I'm only halfway through Ghostbusters 2 again, is
Hmm.
if they really tie it in with Vigo.
Oh
Um,
no, no.
they're kind of
Vigo
like
took
two
advantage.
separate things, which is a little weird to me.
The way it is that Vigo took advantage of something that was a byproduct of a Gozer related stuff.
Okay.
That's what it was. Basically, Vigo just happened to have the painting brought there. He probably sensed the mood slime and everything, and he took advantage of it since, well, Vigo and Ivo Shandor weren't doing anything about it. So, because, Shandor was dead, Gozer was banished as and stuck as Stay Puft, which I love. I love that that's basically, if he's in our dimension, he's stuck as the Stay Puft. He can't become anything. That's been made.
So,
That's been the
so
canon.
Robert, are these things though that were explained in the movie, or are these things you learned from other sources?
The game made that clear, and the IDW comics made
Okay,
that clear.
I want to
But
know if the
yes,
movie makes it clear that
no, the movie
I
never
didn't
makes it.
think so. Again, it's been a
No,
couple of years, but
no,
I'm
the
gonna.
movie never makes it clear. Which
Yeah,
again, if they ignore that in the new movie, I won't be upset about it because like they're
right,
keeping it contained.
right.
I gotta say, the IDW comics. Have you ever read those? Those are so good because they
I
continue.
have not. I'm not like a comic reader or anything.
Ah, okay,
The only comics I
okay.
ever read in my life were some old X-Men comics, and that was about
Gotcha.
it.
I gotcha. But it's
Yeah.
been good because they just did a big crossover like a couple years ago where you had Ghostbusters, real Ghostbusters, the female Ghostbusters, the extreme Ghostbusters, and a couple other Ghostbusters, including little 8-bit Ghostbusters too.
Wow.
And it turns out their big threat is Gozer's big sister, Tiamat, who I might add they dealt with earlier, totally screwed Winston over in the worst way possible. Let's just say take one more day. You've at least heard of One More Day from Spider-Man, right?
Yes.
Gave up that, but he had no. He didn't give it up. It was taken from him to stick it to him.
Mm.
He basically had this love of his life. He got married. They had many happy years. We've been following it, and because he screwed over Tiamat, Tiamat took away his marriage, and she has no idea who the hell he is.
Wow.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, poor Winstead. I mean, that's why Ernie Hudson's one of the most. He deserves so much better. You know what I mean?
Ernie Hudson got screwed in both movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And he has
weird.
some of the best lines.
It's weird watching the second one, and I just got done with like the courtroom scene again,
Mm-hmm.
and Connor, my son's watching. My 9-year-old son, he loves it. And he's like, "Where's Ernie Hudson?" Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why he's not here. I guess because he's not like technically one of the owners of the Ghostbusters.
Right.
It's just weird how even in the sequel they kind of give him the cold shoulder.
Oh yeah, definitely. But he still has some of the best lines, in the first one.
He's great.
Yeah. I mean, come on. I love this town.
I mean, I'm very happy they went with kind of an unknown actor, everyman, than Eddie Murphy, who they were going to go with. Eddie Murphy, he's great, but
he's great.
Having that many different,
big
names bouncing off each other for time. No, it's not going to work.
Yeah, definitely. And they said they would have brought him in earlier. I'm like, no, where he was in, it worked. And Ernie Hudson, he has his own comedic timing that just. And then you hear him, you have him with everyone else, especially once he says, so like, I have seen shit that would turn you white. And he would have made a gag out of it. But no, Ernie, he makes it come off very sincere.
He's so genuine when he says it.
Yep, and then you have Peck. Oh, good God, Dickless. I feel bad for that guy. That's one of those actors you feel bad for when you find out. Oh God, he kept getting called Dickless out on the street because people couldn't recognize.
That guy like always plays a dick in movies. That's his thing,
Die Hard.
So I'm sure he's used to it.
Yep, Die Hard 1 and 2 and
That's
all
right.
that.
Yep.
I know it's just the guy, but there's just some kid where you're like,
I forgot he comes back for Die Hard 2. That's right.
He gets zapped.
Reporter. Yeah,
yeah, he gets. Oh boy, but now I know you do a lot of movies. What about TV, like Star Trek? Are you ever into Star Trek?
I dabbled. I watched Star Trek Generations. Not like religiously, but it was on at like 10 o'clock at night when I was back in high school or middle school, and I thought it was cool to stay up and just watch it. That's when I thought Patrick Stewart was just awesome, and I've followed his career ever since. I think he's just an amazing man.
Oh, he is. Until he started doing Picard, and then he totally decided, I'm going to use if they want me in here, they got to follow my politics and rework and totally ruin Roddenberry's vision to suit my needs.
Oh, really? I don't know anything about that. I'm not watching Picard or anything.
Yeah, basically, he decided it would be Starfleet has now become like pro-Brexit, pro-Trump type of stuff, and basically they are ruining everything, and it's like, really?
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. But speaking of Star Trek, funny you say that, I was just reading this.
Oh.
The Mirror Universe version. They never did one of Next Gen, so it's great to see someone actually doing it in the comics.
I will say the movies all kind of suck. The Generations movies.
Except for First Contact. Except for First Contact.
Was that the first? No, that was...
The Borg. That was the Borg one.
Was that the second one then?
Yeah, the second one, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the first one I thought was just horrible. That
was just a glorified... There's the first... And
they brought Shatner in, and they like killed him in the most unceremonious way ever.
It was going to be worse, though. It was going to be worse. He was going to be shot in the back.
It can always be worse, but yeah.
And then Nemesis, which totally broke the streak of...
stupid. Borg was good. That one was fine, yeah.
First Contact. But now with Star Wars, though, I mean, you were talking about Last Jedi. Boy, was that anything you were expecting when you went into it?
Well, no, because I'd spent like a year defending Force Awakens with every fiber in my being. Just
same here.
Everybody was... The term Mary Sue just came out of nowhere. I mean, it became mainstream. I'd never heard that term before. It's like,
oh, really?
What about every single male action star in a movie? They're all...
True.
What's the equivalent of that? But regardless, this was the first of a new trilogy. So I'm like, give it some time.
Exactly. That's what I said.
We're going to find out all sorts of cool stuff. And then we didn't.
That's what I said. I was willing to accept it because for Force Awakens, because you're like you said, we don't know anything about her. It's a big mystery. Let's wait and see. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe she had her mind wiped. Who knows? Then come The Last Jedi. Oh, let's subvert expectations. That would be she's just that damn good. Oh, subvert,
Yeah.
subvert. Ryan Johnson. If it
And I
wasn't
didn't
for
even,
Knives,
and Ray didn't even like. Who cares if she's a great Jedi? She's the best Jedi.
yeah.
Whatever. That doesn't even bother me because
Oh
that's
no.
whatever. Who cares? I don't
Yeah.
care if it's a guy or a girl. An alien. That's the best
Exactly.
Jedi. I
Exactly.
just wanted a good story, and they
Yeah.
instead it was a slow moving space chase for a couple hours.
The
That didn't.
slowest moving space chase.
Yeah.
And
But
then
I'm
Luke.
not
And
like a
then Luke.
prequel fan either, so I didn't have any real.
Right.
Like I act like I care that much, but I really don't. I like the
Right.
original Star Wars movies. That's kind of where I like to live, and
Yeah.
I don't really
Exactly.
have any sort of stake in the franchise. Otherwise, Mandalorian's really good. That's
Oh
about the only
yeah.
other. That's like the only
I
other
love
Star Wars thing I
Mandalorian.
like. Yeah,
Rogue One was really good,
I
even
like.
though it
I
took.
do like Rogue One, but again, that's also part of that kind of original
Yeah.
trilogy style. It's that old
Exactly.
school. Yeah.
The only problem I have with it is it completely negates one of my favorite games, the Dark Forces game, since Kyle Katarn was the one who got the plans, not this group of people, and he did it all on his own.
Oh well, that's not. I mean, Disney made
I
all that
know.
stuff
I
non-canonical,
know.
anyways. Yeah.
Yep. And I am so glad those Thrawn is still around, thanks to Rebels, because I love those Zahn books, the Timothy Zahn books. Oh,
Again,
yes.
that you're
Yeah.
speaking nothing to me right
Okay.
now.
Raymond in the chat just made a good point saying Ryan Johnson squandered all of the cool things set up by Force Awakens. Well, yeah, everyone's been saying it. When you see someone
Is
like,
this? Oh, sorry. Hang on, Robert. Is there like a thing I
oh,
should be looking at right now? Should I be sending
look,
a link out to Twitter or something?
no, no, oh, if you want to, go
I
right
didn't
ahead.
promote this. I apologize. Where am I?
No, no,
What
go
link should
right
I
ahead.
send out?
I started it last second anyway, so.
Do you have a link I should shoot out to
Uh,
someone?
yeah, hold on. I will send you. There's gonna be a private chat down at the bottom. It'll pop
Yeah, I
up
see
once I
it.
send you the link. So give me one moment.
I'll send it out now that we're like 30 minutes into this.
Yep,
I
yep.
apologize.
No problem. No
I
problem.
don't do a ton of podcasts. That's why I quickly threw this together in my
No problem. No problem.
green room.
Yeah, that's what he was joking about in the chat.
Yeah, I have a green screen, that I would pull out and do this whole thing. Oh, yeah, now my color's coming in and out because this is like some shitty, cheap webcam. This is not what I film with.
It's all right. It's all right.
But it was such a pain in the ass, and so I'm like, all right, my basement's unfinished, so I just put up walls in a smaller room, and I have soundproofing all over the place, and then I just painted this damn wall. And the door is just for show. It doesn't. I can't really knock that out very well.
Obviously,
I just thought it would be kind of fun to make it green.
But yeah, like I said,
it's
though,
a crappy room that no one sees in the basement.
Right. But like I said, Raymond made a good point, though. Like I said, Ryan Johnson squandered all the cool things set up and not leaving much of the house for the next movie. I mean, the fact that everyone who has legitimately criticized the movie, and then when they did Rise of Skywalker, all admit it. What do they have left to do? What to utilize? Not much. It's like you set up a mystery, answered it. You set up the bad guy, killed him off. You set up, you do all this other stuff. The only thing I left was Rey and Kylo, their possible romance, and that was it. Luke was dead. You're not going to do much with Leia. It's like, what do you have left?
Sorry, I can't multitask well, but I'm hearing what you're saying, and I've bitched for years about this, and there's so many YouTube channels that have made a living off of just complaining about this movie that now I feel like it's. I
understand.
It's like beating a dead
tauntaun
alien with tits on a.
I would just say beating a dead tauntaun is what I would just say.
Tauntaun's fine. I was trying to think of the name of that milk alien from.
Whatever.
That alien cow. But yeah, the movie's squandered, and by the time you get to the last one, I had no care at all. So when I went in, I just wanted to be entertained, and I was, and I'm like, hey, I like this movie because because I don't have any I don't care at all. So I just want to watch something that seems like Star Wars for 2 hours and clearly doesn't give a shit about anything, and that was all it was.
Exactly.
I don't watch any of them again.
Yep, the fact they started up the meme now saying if someone got paid to write Emperor Palpatine has returned somehow in a legit blockbuster movie, you could get away with anything.
Yeah.
Seriously, I just killing off Admiral Akbar in Last Jedi. I agree. That was.
It's funny when I did the Solo review
Mm-hmm.
for that Han Solo movie. The end
Yep.
of it, has Darth Maul show up for no
Mm-hmm.
reason, and he like
Uh,
lights his dual saber up. And he's like, "Huh? Remember this?
yeah.
Remember this thing?" And I was just
Mm-hmm.
like, I said in that review, what are we going to do next? Cart Palpatine back from the dead and string him up like a puppet and have him be in the
And he
last
won.
movie? And then they
What?
did. And then they
That's what
did.
they
Yeah.
did. You were joking. It's like one of those. I was joking.
J.J. Abrams is at his house eating dinner, and he's like, "Oh my god, I just felt a
Hmm.
disturbance in the Force. I know what to do for this now."
From what
Yeah,
if the rumors I heard, what they wanted to do for Rise, and they would have tied it more in the Clone Wars, that would have made things better. But that's just rumors. We'll never know.
yeah. A lot of
Yeah.
speculation in that film.
Yeah, but still
Did
though,
you?
there's.
I'm sorry, I
What?
was going to switch gears, but if you have more to say about Star
No,
Wars,
go right ahead. You can switch gears. Go right
well,
ahead.
you brought up Home Alone at the beginning, and we didn't
Oh
talk
yeah,
about it. Did you
you're
see
right.
that? Did you see the movie?
I have not yet. I
Uh,
have. I just saw your video of it. I was wondering, should I watch it? Should I wait? And that's one of the benefits of review shows like yours. You watch it so
yeah,
I don't have to.
yeah, the whole nostalgia critic thing.
Yep.
Yeah, what did I?
You
We just rewatched Home Alone 2 as a family. My God, I love
know,
that movie so much.
that is one of
So
my
good.
favorite. I mean, Tim Curry, just Tim Curry alone in that
Here's your limo with a cheese pizza. He's just so
cheese
proud of like the
pizza.
little task he did for Kevin.
Yep. But yeah, Bianca, that's BM. Yeah, the new one just came out.
Oh yeah,
Boy.
it's atrocious. It's an hour and 24 minutes long. Uh, Kevin or Max is the character.
Max,
He's
yeah.
British for some reason.
Mhm.
It's the kid from Jojo Rabbit. Horribly
Yeah.
miscast in this film.
Yeah.
And he's not the main character. The main character is
Yeah.
Ellie Kemper, and I can't remember the
Yeah.
guy's name. But,
He was Peter in Deadpool 2.
oh, that's what I. Okay, well, I'm sure he's
Yeah.
Rob Delaney or something.
Yeah, him.
Okay.
Yeah, I just looked it up. Yeah, he was Peter in Deadpool 2. It's like, hey, he's good in here. Let's put him in here.
He has to have a bigger role in a show or something. I just don't.
Right.
That name sounds familiar.
Right. I'm not exactly sure right at the moment either. But yeah, from what you were talking about, yeah, they swap roles. It's like, that would have been fine if this was Harry and Marv, not these other two. It's like, I mean, that has potential. I'll be honest. That has potential to flip flop the roles.
There's
But
a lot
it
of
sounds like
potential. I mean, bring back Macaulay Culkin as a parent in this one, and have his kid do the same thing to him. That do that whole.
I heard rumors that he did have a role, but I guess they cut it or something. I know Buzz is back in there, but yeah, I'm not sure.
It's just embarrassing.
Geez.
The whole thing's bad.
Yeah, well, how is it compared to any of the other post Home Alone 2 sequels?
It's worse than 3, which 3's not good, but some people like 3 for some reason. I think it's just an age thing. It's way worse than 3, and 4 and 5 were like ABC Family original movies. They didn't even go to theaters or have any sort of platform. Those are embarrassingly bad. Those are just, but I mean, you're Disney. You have oodles of money. You could have made something that you actually cared about, but no, they're just. And then you got Sister Act 3 coming out.
Oh yeah. Wait, seriously? They're finally doing one of?
Yeah, but Tyler Perry's involved in it, so now I'm
terrified now.
Yeah,
I am
scared.
terrified.
I've been saying for years, and I'm not religious in the slightest. I grew up Catholic, so I'm not religious. I always joke, but I wanted a Sister Act 3 for a long time.
Oh yeah, I love
those
first
movies.
I love them. The music is so good.
Whoopi is so good in those movies, and
Cassie Najimy. What's her name? She played the older nun, not Maggie Smith, the other one.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
She's gone now, unfortunately. Sister Mary Roberts and all that. And I always loved once I found out. Oh, she claimed she could sing, and then revealed actually, girls, I can't sing. So, but they kept her on because they liked her on there. So they just dub over her, and you can't tell.
She did a great job dubbing.
You can't tell. It looked cheap. The way she looked on screen matches the voice they dubbed over her.
I was that was one of 2 times I was very upset with myself that I gave credit, not on film, but when I was younger for years, I always gave credit to the wrong people. I always thought she was singing in those movies, and I always thought Jonathan Taylor Thomas was singing as Simba in Lion King. And it's like,
Well,
a total
at least one
different
you can
thing.
understand. At least one
Yeah.
you can understand because it tricks you because you don't know it's dubbed.
Right.
The other one's animated where you have anyone's voice on there. But at least the kid they had doing Simba singing voice again was one of those cases where it matched up as opposed to Cats Don't Dance, where
Yeah.
now of course that was out of their control and everything. They recast the original actor supposedly would have matched up and everything, but yeah, because that's a case where you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, but with all the Home Alone movies, I mean, again, I love those first two, especially. Yeah, I have to agree with you. The second one, best one because it's both.
Yeah.
It's not even a retread. It's one of those movies that it does what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go bigger.
It's a I mean, it's a retread, but in all the right ways. It's kind
Yeah.
of like how Austin Powers 2 is a retread of number
Mhm.
one. It does a ton
Yeah.
of callback jokes. It sets up the same formula, but it takes it in a different, unique place. Like, oh, he's not at
Mhm.
his house anymore. He's in New York City.
Yep.
He's now in an abandoned house that he's turned into a death trap for these guys, a kill
Yeah.
box.
Even oh gee, I always cracked up when you see Marv is the one with the beard, right? It's been so long since I've seen,
Yeah,
right?
Marv's
Yeah.
the one. Well, Harry's the one that's bald. That's
Yep, yeah, Marv. Yeah, so yeah, Marv.
opposite,
When he turns into the skeleton and his skeleton has a beard, I always close at him like, ah, ah!
We just watched this 2 days ago because
I know.
I have two videos this week. One is defending our Home Alone 2 is better than 1, and how Ghostbusters 2 is not a bad movie. I'm not as dumb as to say it's better than number 1 as far as Ghostbusters, but it's still good.
Yeah, but yeah, I just love it. Yeah, just throwing the bricks, and it's like,
Oh
hey,
my
no one
God.
throws bricks at me. Hey, you got any more bricks? Come on, Marv. He has no more bricks.
I'm old enough to have seen that in theaters when it hit,
Mhm.
and I've never. That's one of 2 times I was embarrassed to be with my parents, but not like I want to leave, but just
Right.
my dad was laughing so freaking hard at that brick scene. Thankfully, everyone else was laughing too, but I've never heard him laugh so hard in my life. I'm like, oh my God, my dad's liking this movie more than the kids are.
but the fact that they turned up the tuniness of it all, it's like one of those cases. I know that's when just like on the guy's name now, the guy who wrote it, he did Breakfast Club and all that.
I always get him confused with John Williams, who did the score.
It was
he did Ferris Bueller.
John Hughes. John Hughes.
I knew
John Hughes. Yeah. The fact that was around the time when he started going even more toony stuff. Baby's Day Out and all that. This was one of the times where it actually worked.
Yes,
because it just
still had all the emotional, heartstring scenes and the the casting was so good. You have this huge family. And there's just like little things that each actor gets to do, like when they're handing the bags over and Kevin's not there, and they hand him back. And
Kevin's not here. Kevin, and that's about Buzz. Yeah, Buzz is just like it's like
in deep thought.
I know. You don't even catch that first. You don't even catch that first. No. He's just like he doesn't even say it. He's just like.
Macaulay Culkin's brother's in it. Kieran Culkin. He's great.
Oh boy, is he really got taken off?
Yeah,
I mean, I loved him in Scott Pilgrim. Where
oh my God, Scott Pilgrim's like top 50 for me. I love.
Oh yeah, I love that movie. Yeah. Edgar Wright in general, yeah. I adore.
Did you like his newest movie?
I have not seen it yet, but I want to see it. But not until Ghostbusters.
I'd say it's worst.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I'm going to see. I am.
But his worst is still better than a lot of people's best.
Oh,
so yeah.
Yes, most certainly. Yeah. But and I'm disappointed he didn't do Ant-Man. But I think it might have been for the best, if you ask me. I think he might have been a little too zany.
Yeah, I think so for sure.
Yeah, but at least he plotted things out at least. So yeah, that worked. But
I think he worked for like 2 years and then he left.
Oh yeah, and then. Yeah, but I think that was one of those cases where it proved Kevin Feige had a plan. Does he have a plan now? I don't know. I question it, especially with Eternals. I have no interest in seeing Eternals. I had it for a moment, and then it's like, no.
It was about as just blah as a movie could possibly be. I don't really get the hate. I mean,
me neither.
There's people that think it's just the worst movie ever created, which I would just say you need to see more movies, or maybe not. Maybe you're seeing a healthy amount of movies, and I'm seeing way too many. But that movie it's not bad for a lot of the reasons. Once again, I go back to Last Jedi because people hate on it, but for all the technical stuff, it's really well done. I mean,
Oh yeah.
it has some good action. It's got beautiful visuals. It's got a
Hmm.
great score. It's just the story makes no sense, and it doesn't feel connected to the rest of the Marvel
It
universe.
does. From what I understand, it doesn't. But
Yeah.
now with the James Bond movies, have you seen all of the Bond movies?
Oh my god. So I'm not like a huge Bond person. I prefer
Right.
Mission Impossible. I prefer my
Oh yeah.
PC. Tom
Hmm.
Cruise. But I've seen all
Yeah.
the I've seen all the Daniel Craigs. I've seen probably all the Pierce Brosnan, and I've seen just like random
Right.
old school ones with Sean Connery and some of the other
Oh,
Bonds
same
over the
here. That
years.
was me
Yeah.
for a while, but then I just got the box set recently,
Oh,
and
so
I've
you've gone
decided.
all in. You went all in.
Yep. Yep. I went all in. I just got. I'm up partway through Diamonds Are Forever. Then after that, it's on the Roger Moore's era, and then
Sure.
yeah. So I've been enjoying so much of them. There's so many of them. You're like, they don't make them like this anymore. You
Really?
know.
So they hold up. I
Oh,
mean,
most of them do. I know.
okay.
I know more at some of the more notorious ones when we get to it, like especially his final movie where he is so old and yet they have all of these other young people. But the main reason why he decided to find quit was he realized he was older than the mother of the actress playing the Bond girl.
Well,
Yeah, it's one of those things where he's like, "Yeah, I'm done. I'm
age is
done."
just a number. Ask Harrison Ford, who's dusting off
It's
that hat again for
one
Indiana
more
Jones.
time. You know, I gotta say, the funny thing is, I still get enjoyment out of Crystal Skull. I
Uh,
think now there are dumb things that really make it dumb. The
yeah.
fridge, the monkeys,
Oh, I
but
like the
over.
fridge. I like the
Oh yeah.
fridge.
Oh no, I
I
like. I'm
thought
just
that
saying
scene
no.
was
I guess
great.
because
I didn't like
it's
the
a
monkeys.
throwback.
I didn't
It's a
like the monkeys.
throwback to the old,
Yeah.
serials, movie
I
serials.
I mean, I think Temple of Doom is not one of my favorites. I'm not a big fan
Mm,
of that one.
same
So like
here.
Crystal Skull, Temple of Doom,
Hmm.
I'm not really sure I have a
I've always known that's always
comparison
been to
against.
be the one that people feud like you have in your videos. They feud over. You have Temple of
Yeah.
Doom or Crystal Skull. I'd go with Crystal Skull because I
Yeah.
think the story is more interesting. A lot of the cast is more interesting. You have Miriam. Miriam is back and all that. And
Helen
you have
Mirren's in
the
there. You got Shia
yep.
LaBeouf. You got the LaBeouf in there.
Back in a way that kind of fits the era in a
Yeah.
way. Like I don't blame him for everything. You
Yeah.
have a great villain with I think it was Kate Blanchett. Was it Kate Blanchett? No, no.
Kate
Sher-
Blanchett. Oh,
was it
that's what
Kate
I meant.
Blanchett?
I'm
No, or
sorry.
Sherry?
I said Helen Mirren. I meant Kate Blanchett. Yeah.
Right, wait. Was it Kate or was it? I got
It's
to double
Kate. It's
check.
Kate. It's Kate.
Oh, it is? All right. I
Yeah.
thought it was either her or Sherilyn Thorne. I keep forgetting which.
Well, she's like a female Patrick Stewart to me.
Yep, Kate Blanchett.
They don't
Yeah.
seem to age. They're always
Yeah.
perpetually in their like 50s. I don't even know if Kate Blanchett's
Yeah.
that old, but she looks like she's always been the same age in every movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's
But I,
bizarre.
my favorite moment in that makes that whole movie worth it is him shooting a guy and then, Mutt, it's like, you're a teacher? Hard time. That moment is what sold it for me. Was that moment just to have that moment because that was peak indie, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, there's still some good lines. It's just a question of whether or not, because when
Yep.
you think of Indiana Jones, you do think of a young brawler, like
Hmm.
a spry
Yeah, but
adventurer.
never to the point where you could say the mileage has caught up to him, but it wasn't
Yeah,
there. It hasn't taken over yet. Now that's what I'm afraid of this upcoming one,
yeah.
and I gotta say, I have no idea where they're gonna go with this. I have no clue, and I am not sure I want to know
I'm
right
not sure they'll
now.
get it done. He keeps getting injured and having to go to the hospital for
And then
months.
you have to keep on getting his stunt double, and they're just gonna face grab it over. Should he even
Yeah.
get his acting credit for
I
it?
mean, yeah, they'll just CGI him at this point, like
Mm,
Leia in Rogue One,
Yep, or Christopher Lee during
Gladiator.
Revenge. No, Christopher Lee during Revenge of the Sith when he did his sword fight. He actually did it for Attack of the Clones. Revenge of the Sith, he couldn't do it that much by that point.
Well, yeah, I mean, the guy was
And that was
old.
just a few years. That was a few years difference, and then yeah.
No, who was
Oh,
in? I'm sorry, who was in Gladiator that died?
ooh, I have no idea.
He was the wizard. He was the first Dumbledore. Why can't I think of his
Oh,
name?
oh, 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 oh. Hold on. Oh, geez, I got it. Hold on.
I
Richard
think
Harris.
I
Richard
was
Harris.
wasn't he in Gladiator, or am I thinking of some
Uh,
other old white dude? Either way, that was like
yeah,
one of the
he was in.
first.
Yeah, he was in Gladiator. Yeah.
That was like one of the first examples of them doing a face over on
But well, he wasn't
someone.
dead by that. He wasn't dead by that
He
point, though.
wasn't dead, but they had to do reshoots or something, and he wasn't
Yeah,
available. I can't remember the
yeah,
whole reason
I,
behind it, but
yeah.
they had to cover over a different guy's face with his
Right, right. And there's sometimes where that works. There are some
Nicolas
cases where that
Cage
works.
face off on him.
But yeah, there are some movies though where that type of technique works. I think they've gotten better with it
Yeah,
as time has gone on, and especially I gotta say, as ludicrous as it is, Tron Legacy I think did it very well with the de-aging thing because it works because you're in a computer. It's not supposed to look
right.
perfect.
Yeah, it can look fake. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I mean, if you did it where it's supposed to be in the real world, oh no, yeah, then that's the case where you're like, get that shit out of
Yeah,
here.
it's like Ready Player One. You can get away with a lot
Oh
of
yeah, exactly.
freaky
Oh,
stuff.
Ready Player One. I love that
I love
movie.
that movie. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
great. Do you think they're going to do the second one, or do you think
I
Spielberg
hope
feels too burned out?
if they do the second one, they better completely rewrite the script because the book was atrociously
From what I've
bad.
heard, yeah.
Oh
But
my
I'll,
god,
yeah,
the book
but
was so bad, and
mm-hmm,
I did the audio of both of them.
mm-hmm,
Will Whedon does a fantastic job narrating. By the way, he's
yep.
so good enough. But the second book was so bad, it made me question if the first book was even good. Like that,
Oh
like
no,
the writing is so juvenile and just
yeah.
embarrassingly cringy. I couldn't
Ugh.
do it.
Yeah, I never read the book first. I read it after I saw the movie. So, yeah. But I would also say this though, with one thing I'm a big factor I love because I'm a big Godzilla fan, huge Godzilla fan.
Okay,
I loved when I found out that Mechagodzilla was actually based off of the original Japanese poster for the '90s got Mechagodzilla movie. Because
you're talking about in Godzilla versus Kong,
no,
or
no, no.
what are you talking about here?
I'm talking about in Ready Player One.
Oh, in Ready Player One, yeah. I forgot that Mechagodzilla's at
Yeah,
the
the
end.
Mega
Yeah,
Godzilla that's there because they could not legally use. They were able to have the right to the character, but they couldn't use any version that was on screen. So
really?
they
Okay.
an event, but eventually they could. They kept trying to come up with a version, and Toho said, "Well, technically, since the poster version isn't what is in the movie, you could
Sure.
use this." And that's
Okay.
what we got. And hearing John Williams doing his own version of the Godzilla March for
That's pretty
that brief
sweet.
moment,
Yeah.
that I mean, because like I said, I'm a big kaiju nut in general,
Okay.
and I gotta say, I love the MonsterVerse movies. That's a case of doing another universe right, because you have a bunch of fans doing it. And now, granted, I don't look kindly on Garth Edwards' movie anymore. I did when it came out, but the other ones have blown it so much out of the water. You're like, oh, mostly because
I'd
of what they
say
did to
I'm
Bryan
50-50
Cranston,
on them. I'm 50-50 on them. I didn't like the first Godzilla with Bryan
right?
Cranston. If Bryan
I
Cranston had
love
stayed
King of
in
the
the movie,
Monsters.
King
Yeah,
of the Monsters I really liked, and I really liked Kong.
right. But you didn't like
Um,
Godzilla versus Kong.
no, I did not like that at all. No, I
I
thought
would
that
say
was
this.
just
I liked
nonsense.
the monster stuff. I liked the Kong, the human side that connected to Kong. I liked because I thought that actually felt close enough to it to the King of the Monsters. I hated the Godzilla human side of it. It
Yeah.
felt like such a farce. It felt like such a joke. You're like, okay, what are we doing here? Because I like the girl in King of the Monster. Now we're seeing her here, and it's just a complete and utter like they're getting through everything on pure blind luck that the bad
Yeah,
guys aren't even.
it was just
Uh,
tonal. It was tonally so different than the previous two movies. Like
yeah.
Kong, we're talking about a giant ape. Of course, it's
Yep.
going to have some silliness to it, but they played it pretty straight for the most part. It was a
Mm-hmm.
pretty serious movie. They tried to be kind of plausible with things, and then same
Mm-hmm.
with King of the Monsters. They still
Yeah.
played it very serious. And then you go into Kong versus Godzilla, and he's shooting a laser beam into China and climbing up. It just nothing. It was so
Yeah.
dumb. And what was with the
Yeah.
technology? The humans had like sci-fi equipment and
Uh,
and
and
a
then what was up
skull they
with
were controlling. I didn't get any.
and I didn't get what was up with Shirazawa's son. It's like, what's his deal? And you have to read.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to read the book to find out. I'm like,
No, no, no,
no, I
no,
don't need to
no,
read the book to
no,
find. Tell me why.
nonsense.
Now,
That's what people
Mechagodzilla
are.
was awesome, though. Mechagodzilla was the peak of it, though. If you ask me,
Yeah.
once he showed up, it's like, okay, it is on. Like, well, Kong.
Well, again, though, you're a fan of the history of Godzilla and stuff. So for new people, it's kind of like when Batman versus Superman showed Wonder Woman for the first time in her armor, and they did the Holy Trinity or whatever they call that shit. I'm not a comic person, so I don't know.
Right. It was just Trinity.
You
just
have
the Trinity.
to, for a movie to do it right, you have to speak to the moviegoers, not just one portion, which I would assume is like 10% if I'm being generous, 10% of the audience. You need to earn this stuff. So having Wonder Woman come out with her, donning her garments and
with that music
and her theme song that no one's really heard. It's like, what? Am I supposed to be impressed? We don't know who this is yet.
Or Doomsday, or just having Doomsday in there and killing off Superman. Right. It's like, are we supposed to feel anything? I mean, that's the one. That was my biggest problem. They wasted the Doomsday option.
The death of Superman too. But
yeah, you wasted it on the second movie.
But and that's what it was with Mechagodzilla, though. It's like I don't pretend I don't know. I know who Wonder Woman is. I know who Mechagodzilla is. But I want you to pretend like I don't, because that's how you tell a story.
Oh, I agree. Oh no, I agree with that. But let me also put it this way: if this was to be their final one. They already did Rodan. They did Mothra. They did King Ghidorah. There's only one other of the big of his big opponents for them to have put in. So of course they felt like, okay, we're gonna have King Kong versus Godzilla. We need to have someone for them to fight up against. To team up against. Mechagodzilla is the only one that made the most sense when you think about it.
Yeah, but it also, again, though, because of the massive tonal shift, disattached from the rest of the monsters.
Oh, and I agree with that.
The last movie ended with Godzilla as a total boss and all the other kaiju bowing to him. And then they did the Alien 3. They unceremoniously killed them all at the intro. Right?
No, they're not dead. No, they're not. No, I don't think they're all dead. I think that some of them were dead. I think that I got to redouble look at that again. I don't think they're all dead.
They killed off a large portion in the intro.
I'll look into it. I'll look at that.
These quick cuts and putting like deceased or dead or X's on them.
Right.
Whatever. I don't know.
I'll look into it again. No, but I would say though,
where were they?
That's true. Well. It's because you have two apexes. They want to get involved with these two apexes, and this time around.
Godzilla have his other crew, backing him up.
He doesn't need it. He doesn't need it. He doesn't need it because
at least show them though. At least be okay, they're off doing this, or
I agree with that.
They're at Godzilla Party Island, like the old Japanese movies.
Oh yeah. But I would say this though. I did like we got a definitive answer. And Kong is out of his depth. Kong stood no chance. I did love that we actually saw Godzilla. And I gotta say, I was shocked to see Godzilla on all fours. I've never seen that in any version. And it was like, oh shit, when did he get so feral?
Yeah, I mean, the fights were very cool. I'll give you that. Yep. I just wish.
Oh no,
it was treated a little bit more. I don't know. I guess saying treat it more serious is silly when it's Godzilla versus Kong. But because of how this universe has been going, we really could have done kind of an emotional, serious movie with this if we would have just taken it from the vantage point of Kong the whole time.
Oh yeah.
But, yeah, whatever.
But the problem though is that each movie had its own creative. Now you had a team working to try and add some continuity to it, but they started it with Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah.
And it's like, you guys came in too late.
You came in hot and you came in late, just like BVS. I mean, you didn't earn this fight yet. We don't even know this Batman.
Speaking of BVS,
we barely got Superman.
Speaking of BVS, I gotta say is that I originally, the Snyderverse movies and trilogy in general, I originally defended Man of Steel when it came out. I'm like, no, I understand.
I still defend Man of Steel. That's a great movie.
But I'm just saying this. I used to defend the John Kent stuff and everything. Kept saying, oh no, it makes sense. It makes sense. After finding out where they were going, and it turns out like, oh, the fact when you have Snyder having the gall to say, oh, we wanted to break him down and rebuild him back up to be the Superman we want him to be. It's like, you could have done that from the beginning with Jonathan, but you wasted so you can make him a brooding, like, woe is me, I'm more of an alien than ever type of Superman. Yeah. Don't give me that, we had to break him down to build him up into what he should have been, when you could have done that from the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, obviously in hindsight, but Man of Steel taken by itself, I thought
on its own
movie. I do think the Clark Kent thing, or not Clark,
Jonathan Kent.
Kent I did
Okay.
think the tornado scene was really stupid.
Oh
That's like the
God.
only part in the
Mm-mm.
movie where I'm like, what? This doesn't make
What?
any
At
sense.
least the heart attack makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, at least have it be maybe he had a he had a heart attack right before the tornado gets him, so it just but
Yeah, but
uh,
the killing of Zod, I was like, yeah, you gotta. What is he supposed to do? You gotta
yeah,
kill
oh yeah,
this
no,
guy.
I agree with that. I
And
agree with
how
that.
Cavill like reacts is
Oh
so
yeah, but
freaking
then he
good. Like,
gets over it way too fast, though. That's the
yeah,
big problem. That he got over it way too fast,
I mean that's
and
Snyder though. Like, you're never gonna get around that type of directing.
no,
He is not one to sit on things
oh
unless it's
yeah,
a slow motion action shot.
oh yeah. I
Which
mean, yeah.
300's like a top 20 movie for me
Oh,
of all time. Like,
agreed.
full stop. I
And
think
I gotta
that
say,
movie is
Watchmen.
so good.
And I gotta say, Watchmen, I really like. I've actually
Yeah.
seen the full experience of it. It's a slog, but it's one of those slogs where you can't feel like you can cut out anything. It's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, right? It's like a
I know what you're
perfect,
saying.
yeah.
It's slow moving. It's a slow burn, but
It's like the Lord of the Rings extended
each scene
edition.
adds up. Yeah,
Yep, it's like
I
the Lord
just
of
think
yeah.
Snyder is really really good at camera stuff and
Oh yeah,
visuals and the type of
definitely.
visceral action
He's a
scenes.
visual director.
Give someone else the script duties. Just anyone
Exactly.
else, give them the script.
Because he cherry picks from different story
Yeah,
stuff. I mean, the rumors that he was going to have Batman and Bruce and Lois get together, he just watched a little bit of World's Finest from the animated series and decided, oh, let's go with that. Oh, let's
yeah.
try and put it in Justice. Let's try and the anti-life equation is the ultimate riddle. Let's get the Riddler to solve it.
Oh my god, yeah. I
That was the
can't even.
biggest what the fuck when it's like, let's have the Riddler solve the anti-life equation because it's a big riddle.
Are you
That told me he
excited?
never.
Are you excited for the new Batman movie?
I'm actually, after seeing the recent trailer, I am at least
Yeah.
intrigued. Am I overly like, oh, I have to? Well, yeah, actually, compared to Eternals, yes, I am excited to see it.
Yeah, I thought that new trailer was just awesome. I'm pretty
It
stoked.
was.
The
I
first
am.
stuff I
Yeah.
was like, I don't really care.
And then
But
actually hear him do the voice, actually, you're like,
yeah,
okay. But now I will say this: I still say Ben Affleck is now my favorite Batman, live action Batman. But this could come to a good, like I wouldn't say second, but in the top, couple above some of the others.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Ben Affleck,
Well, no,
him pulling the tire and being
oh,
all awesome, like
yeah,
that shit was sweet. That's like
yep,
300 style Batman.
yep.
But then he's such a doofus in Justice. I
The theatrical.
I can't get the visual out of my head of him like keeled over in broad daylight on the ground after Superman just like tosses him asunder in the Joss Whedon cut. Oh my
Oh yeah.
god, it's so
Now,
cringy.
if there's one thing I would defend the Joss Whedon cut for, though, is I thought it fully captured a fully realized Superman once he was finally back. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? That felt like Superman that I wanted to see this whole time. A guy
yeah,
who's just here to help, a guy who's super powerful, but not story breaking level. And I just love that point where you have the Flash saving a bunch of people, and then Superman just one ups him. I'm like,
yeah, yeah.
that is so what would
That's
happen.
Superman. Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, where I told you that at the very least, maybe not Whedon, but because I don't think it was Whedon, Jeff Johns influencing things got things back on track in regard to Superman that Snyder never understood. He
No.
never understood Superman. I think the problem was, I think, I don't watch the channel anymore because I think they've gone off the rails, but Midnight Edge put it best once. What did Snyder do? Oh, everyone was Batman. You had fast and speedy Batman. You had Aquabat. You had Wonder Bat. You had Super Bat.
Mhm.
Everyone was a Batman filtered, and it's like he's right.
Yeah,
They are absolutely right. But now, what about Shazam? What did you think about Shazam?
that was fine.
I enjoyed it. I thought it
Yeah,
was fun.
it was fine. It was a little
Yeah.
long.
Hmm.
Tonally kind of all over the place. There was some really
True.
dark moments, like that business meeting scene where everybody gets
Oh
blown.
yeah,
And then it goes to kind of like the silly, quirky stuff with the kids
the
being
big
kids.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it was fine. I thought it was
Hmm.
really long. It felt so long.
Huh.
But I did like the character of Shazam. I connected with him more than
Hmm.
any other of the
Oh
Justice
yeah.
League characters for sure.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm interested in the sequel. I don't really have any stake though. Like superhero
True.
movies in general, it's
Mm-hmm.
like it's all people talk about, but like I don't
True.
care that much about superhero movies in general. Like I think they're
Mm-hmm.
fine. They're popcorn. They're McDonald's.
Oh
I
yeah,
can eat it.
exactly. They've kind of got reached that, but there was a point where they
Yeah,
felt like a new cutting edge. Now they've gone so many of them. Now you feel like,
yeah.
okay, what's on the menu this time? Oh, Shazam and a bit of Black Widow. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I like the X-Men, because there was always more to them than just, blowing stuff up and fighting. There was always some
Yep.
commentary, some push and pull. The villain was always interesting
Mhm.
and
Yep.
multi-dimensional. He wasn't just, I'm going to take over the world.
Oh
And
yeah.
that stuff is so much more compelling than just, we're
Yeah,
going to
especially
kill
when
everyone.
yep, especially when you had Brian Cox in X-Men 2. They just completely redid the character from his
Brian
original
Cox
comics.
is so good as was it Striker? Yeah,
And they
William
completely
Stryker.
redid his character. Originally, he was a pastor and everything. One of those, those basically based off of the old '80s TV
Sure.
evangelicals
Yep.
and all that, where it's like, oh, we will, that. But no, in this case, no, it made him even more sympathetic because you felt bad for him, but at the same time, yeah. But I will say this though, I didn't think about it until I had Liana Kay. Do you know who she is? Liana
No,
Kay.
I don't
She's
know many
another
people.
YouTuber. She's another YouTuber, but she made a good point of one of her problems with X2. Mystique and Lady Deathstrike, two badass ladies, never say a word at all. And
A
it's
true
like,
badass has very little to say. They
oh,
show they
that is true.
showcase how badass they are by their
Oh,
actions.
oh, that is
Now,
true, but yeah.
Mystique is like a main character in X-Men
Mm-hmm.
too. She's like
Oh
the
yeah.
shit in that movie. Lady
Mm-hmm.
Deathstrike, whatever. She's
Yeah, Lady
cool, but
Deathstrike. That was the case where you're just like, because I like the character, and it's Kelly Hugh. Come on, but it's like,
I mean, to be fair, Scott Summers has maybe 10 lines of dialogue in all the movies, and he's
oh,
like a
okay, you
main
got a
X-Men.
point. Oh
I
yeah,
don't think
yeah.
there's not a ton of talking in these X-Men movies. It's just a lot
Unless
of
you're Wolverine and
unless you're Wolverine, yeah.
which I
And I
still
love
say,
Wolverine, so I don't care.
yep. And like I say, I loved in First Class just the whole like, I am Charles Xavier. This is Eric Lencher. Go and fuck
Yeah,
off.
yeah, yeah.
And then they just turn around and it's like,
Armin's being a wise guy in the comments. Earlier in this video, I clarified that I only like X-Men 2 and
Days of Future Past.
and X-Men 1, but like anything past Future Past besides Logan is pretty much hot trash.
You mentioned X-Men 1. It had the DVD on that still. It's one of my favorite special features. Did you ever
I
see
got
the
that
bit
as
where?
well.
Yep. Did you ever see the bit with Spider-Man showing up?
Yes.
That
I
did.
Oh, go ahead.
Go
Go ahead.
No, I was say I just love that bit where it's just like, he just all that, and it's like, oh my god, I am so sorry, I'm in the wrong movie. But Hallie, she doesn't even look around, but she's already cracking up. Where you're like, you can already tell that she's just like, I don't know what's going on, but it must be hilarious.
Oh my gosh. I was always pissed about the bonus features for X-Men 1 because, and I can't find it, but I know in my head, I remember in the trailer, Wolverine swings around that Statue of Liberty in a very different shot. It's like underneath of him, following him around. And that's not the shot they use in the movie. And I wanted to see that extended shot, but they don't show it. So
yeah. But I guess that first one, it was one of those. It was more of an, I want to say an art house film, but kind of closer to an art film than a blockbuster movie. And I love that. You kind of needed that to get the ball rolling. Same with Blade in a way. Blade was one of those. Yeah, they weren't big blockbusters. These were more low tier, like no one had faith in them until they came out. Then they're like, oh, we had all this faith in the movies. It's like, no, you didn't.
Yeah, people often will like get mad in comments and stuff I'll see when like critics like me or whoever will say X-Men and Spider-Man really got the ball rolling because they'll say, well, Blade is the one that started it. And I just don't buy that. I think that people didn't like.
It was the first good one, yeah.
I loved Blade, but I did not go to Blade thinking he was a comic book character. I didn't think that had anything to, because I don't read comics, and neither does the general population that go to movies. They didn't look at him like a superhero. He was just straight up a day-walking vampire killer. He was.
Oh, they already changed the character a lot, but as it is, he wasn't even a vampire originally.
Really? I don't
originally.
know about.
Yeah, they had to retcon that in there to his character because of the movies. But
that's the reason why like people like me usually say
Mhm.
X-Men or Spider-Man were the ones that really got the ball rolling in Hollywood as far
Exactly.
as comic
That's
book
what I
movies
say
go.
too.
Yeah,
And the funny
Blade
thing,
was his
yeah.
own thing. It was awesome. Blade 2 even better. We don't
Oh
talk about Blade
yeah.
Trinity.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking?
but the
But
funny
yeah,
thing, people keep on acting like there was this huge gap of time where comic movies suck. It was like 2 years.
yeah,
Really, people keep
yeah.
on forgetting it. It was like, now, granted, you had some of the worst. You had Catwoman, you had Steel. Oh God. Now,
Steel.
one movie that I definitely feel was salvaged by its director's cut was Daredevil.
Uh, okay, here's what I say every time someone brings up the Dare. I haven't seen it, but I just
Hmm.
ask this one question, and usually the conversation's over. Does the extended edition of Daredevil still contain a scene where they fight on a playground?
Unfortunately,
We're done here. We're done here.
I will agree with you on that. I will agree with you on that. But hey, it's
I'm
more
sure it's
Michael.
I'm sure it's better. I'm sure it's better. But
I'll
just
say more Michael Clark Duncan as Kingpin, for example. Good
yeah.
God. Whenever I hear people complain about, oh, when they raise Brand, it never works, I always point to there and they shut up because they
I,
cannot argue that.
I will say I really enjoyed Colin Farrell as was it Bullseye.
Bullseye is
I thought he was
what a
a
fucking
very
costume.
fun villain, and I did love the hilarious like first person point of view shots and the
Hmm.
CG shots of those
Up, yep.
weapons flying around. That I did like that, but no, I
Oh
don't.
yeah, there was some very experimental stuff in
Yeah,
that were really good, and I wish they had done more. And then you had, of course, the director would go on to do Ghost Rider, and
oh
mm,
my god.
although I still say the first one was still better than the second one, in my
I don't think I
opinion.
had watched the second one. When I saw him like pee fire on the trailer, I said, no,
Uh,
this isn't going to be
oh,
for me.
he brings up Elektra. Oh, yeah,
We
that
don't we don't
Elektra.
forget about it, but it's just because one movie is horrible
Mm,
doesn't mean the other movie's like a masterpiece. It's still
no,
bad. It's just
well,
not as bad.
Elektra is a sequel to the theatrical cut, not the
What,
director's
yeah,
cut.
and that's what I say about the Daredevil extended or the director's cut. Just because it's better than the shit
Oh
that I
yeah.
saw doesn't mean it's good. It's just
Oh
better.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, it is better. But I mean, that's one thing I like about it. But it's one of the few directors that I would say that substantially improves it, not just
Okay.
makes it
Again, I
better.
haven't seen it, so I shouldn't
Oh, I
even say
understand. I
anything. I shouldn't
understand.
even
But
say anything. Could
well,
be
hey,
great.
if you want a case of a director's cut that does remove something that was notorious originally, the new Rocky Four director's cut, they got rid of the robot.
Yeah, I did know that. I haven't seen it. I don't know how people have been seeing it because it was like one day at the theater, select
Because it went
showing.
digital, because it's done a digital release at the next day.
Oh, it is.
Yep.
Movies come out, and I don't even know where to look anymore. They're just every day. There's 70 movies coming out. And I don't know where to start. So where is it at on like Amazon Prime?
I'm just, yeah, I believe, Amazon, Hulu,
Is
HBO
it
Max, so many
Hulu?
of them.
Like it's free to stream if you're a Hulu member, or do you have to pay
It
it?
says premium subscription. I'm loading them up right now just to check. Oh nope, wait. It's just sending me the general streaming stuff. Never
Yeah,
mind.
I don't think you can find it. I think people probably just torrented it or watched it on like one of those
Yeah, but
streaming pirate sites,
yeah,
which is fine, whatever.
yeah.
I just don't have the time
I
or
oh
care that much.
is it? Yep, it's on Amazon. Amazon, you can rent or buy.
Okay. I mean, I am a huge Rocky fan. I did want to see it.
Oh
I
yeah.
just out
Oh,
of sheer
I love the
curiosity,
Rocky
so
movies. I
yeah.
love the Rocky movies, and I gotta say though, I'm not sure if they can do more with Creed after two. I think that they should have held off on the Ivan Drago stuff for later, but instead they had to get it done then. And what else can they
I
do?
Yeah, I was a little disappointed with Creed 2. I liked Creed 1 a lot, and
Hmm.
I was more so disappointed with Stallone in Creed 2 and less and I liked Michael B. Jordan a lot, but Stallone seemed like
Hmm.
he was just not there. The
Yeah.
energy was so low for him. I was
Hmm.
expecting him I was expecting him to be like Mickey in that last fight.
Oh
Just like be like,
yeah.
"Come on, no, come
Come on,
on,
come
come
on,
on." And
come on. Yeah,
he was very subdued. He was like, "Oh,
yeah. It
let's
was
go."
like,
Like,
let's
what are
go.
you doing? He's killing him in there. Come on.
Because he knew this was his last one. I
Yeah,
think.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I just maybe he was trying not to be because I know Stallone looks back on some of
Mhm.
those middle Rocky movies and probably kind of
Part of the
cringes a
reason why he
little
did
bit.
that's why he did the director's cut.
Yeah, so he was probably trying to play down the acting, but I think
Hmm.
that's where you need to just go all out. I mean, I
Oh
can't
yeah.
remember the actor's name who played Mickey, which is sad, but
Oh,
that
that's it.
he's in the Grumpy Old Men movies. I mean, he's had a huge career, but
Oh, wait, he was
phenomenal.
Penguin. He was Penguin. Burgess Meredith. Burgess
Yes,
Meredith.
Burgess Meredith. He's fantastic in those movies, and
Yeah, but I would say this though. My favorite's always been Balboa. I just love Balboa so much.
really,
Yeah, I
wow,
would because it was the first one I saw in theaters,
okay,
and I just love the idea of this guy to come back, just to come back for one more fight, and he actually. And now it's funny enough, you have Balboa, Creed, and the first movie all have the same ending. But the funny
yeah,
thing though is about that is that how else do you end it? It's one of those
yeah,
cases when people complain about the endings, you're like, okay, how else do you end it? Did he win by a total knockout? That's not like unlikely. Does he because he get knocked out? That's even worse. It's like
yeah.
you only have four endings to go with. You only have four
I found the
possibilities.
pairing a little weird. Was all. I mean,
Well, they went
Stallone.
with an actual
Yeah, they went,
boxer.
which was a mistake because
Yeah,
he looks like a normal human being, not a guy that's been abusing his body with steroids and other chemical treatments over the years, like
yeah,
Stallone and these dudes. You needed to have another guy that matched Stallone's. Like Stallone walked out there and he's a tank, and this guy looked like a
yep.
tiny dude compared to him. Like this
That's
is just
true.
not a believable fight. He would crush him.
Well, at
Um,
least Creed got that right. Was
Creed
the
got it
guy they
right.
had there? Which
Yes.
I can say
Yeah.
that was one of the best, most complicated
Yeah. Yeah.
villains in the entire franchise. Because like, oh yeah, he's about to go to jail, but he wants to get one more fight to keep his record and everything. It's like all just so he can make sure all that money can go to his family while he's gone and everything. You're just like, wow, yeah, I mean, even in Rocky Balboa, I will admit his motivation was the one of the weakest, not the weakest, but one of the weakest. Because it's like, oh, they did a virtual matchup. Hey, let's go ahead and do it for
Yeah.
real.
I mean,
I mean,
Rocky Five just screwed everything up by making him poor again, and
yep, and then the brain
it's dumb.
damage, which yeah, the brain damage and all that, and
Yeah,
that's one of the few things I will give Creed 2, though. They at least played up some of the other problems, like it's
right.
showing that he always felt bad for not throwing the towel to save Apollo and everything. And of course, I have to agree with Stallone. Yeah, he should have had Apollo become disabled or something, not kill him. It's like
Right.
because
It's very dramatic. Very a
oh,
lot of
it's very
pageantry.
yeah. I
Did
mean, you get
did you see Rocky versus what was it Rocky
versus.
versus Drago
Have I seen it all the way
or
yet?
Balboa
No, I have
versus
not.
Drago? I don't know what it's called.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Balboa
yeah. No,
versus.
yeah. It's Rocky versus Drago. No, I
Okay.
have not yet. I've started a bit of it, but I have not finished it yet.
It's
But
weird that he uses the first name and the last name for the other guy. Shouldn't it be
true.
Balboa versus
Well,
Drago
yeah,
or
but I think
Rocky
it's because
versus Ivan?
yeah, but I think it's because that see Bianca. I think it's because of the fact that it's the names that they're both recognized in the ring.
Sure,
Because
sure.
he's known as Drago. It's
That's
not
fair.
or Ivan Drago, and then it's Rocky.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair.
So, but yeah. And now, with the but speaking of Stallone, I gotta say, I also did a marathon a while ago with a friend of mine on the Rambo movies. Here's our opinion on it. First one,
There's
very
two
good.
good
Second,
movies.
yep. Third one, it poured us the tears until the
Yeah, it's
climax.
not good. It's not good.
Rambo, and we watched the extended edition. That was one of the most complicated, complex. We felt, was,
The third
was what he was.
one?
No, the fourth one.
Okay.
Yeah, just Rambo.
Rambo, the one where you think you're gonna change these people, and
Yeah,
he takes
yeah,
them down the river. That and they're
yeah,
like flame throwing babies and
yeah.
stuff. That
Okay, I
was
mean, okay, some
awesome.
of the stuff was over the top. At the
I
same
loved it.
time,
I love
I
that
know,
one. Yeah.
and then you have and I can say I did not mind Last Blood. Actually, I
I
saw it.
hated it.
Uh,
Hated it.
understandable,
Yeah.
understandable. I felt it just like one of those. No, I feel it should end there. I don't think they should do any more. I feel like end it there.
Yeah.
Don't do any more. Have it be that he actually died on that porch or something. And I mean, but I gotta say though, it's one of the few times I cried was when he brought her back, the girl back and everything, and then the obviously it wasn't her mother, but the friend and everything. Just when she runs to
Sure.
the car, yeah, that's when it just gets to me then that moment because everything leading up to it, you're just like, just something about it. Just something about the way it's shot. Something about how the way the actress, when she runs, towards the truck and everything, it just really hits you. You know what I mean? Right in the feels and all that.
I mean, I wish it did.
Well, for me anyway. For
I think I
me,
was just so focused on how shoddy the whole production was that
true. And
I
then
couldn't get
yeah,
into the film. It was weird.
true. And then it became Home Alone.
Yeah, I was Home Alone at the end, but I just like some of the scenes were just so
Oh, it
weird.
was.
Like
It's not the best. It's the
when
second
he
worst.
walks up to like the whole entourage of dudes up on
Oh
the
yeah, that was a
rooftop,
dumb.
like,
It's
what
the
are you
second worst.
doing?
I'm saying yep.
I
It's the
thought maybe he
second
had a
worst of them.
plan. I thought he had a
Yeah,
plan.
so did I.
He's a
When I saw
trained soul killer. He's got something figured out. But no, he just walks up there and gets his ass kicked. It was weird.
Yeah, oh, and I agree with that. I think it's the second worst out of the movies, but I
Yeah.
still got enjoyment. Is what I'm trying to say. It's like, I mean, yeah, there's so many flaws, but something about the movie that I'm like, I could push the top flaws away for the stuff I did like. It's one of
Sure.
those
I
type
mean,
of
I liked
movies.
the Mortal Kombat ending where he rips the guy's heart out. That was
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna rip your heart out and show it to you.
yeah,
It's
I
like,
mean, he meant it literally. So
yep. I guess also the Expendables that I like, but I gotta say one of the best scenes I've seen was Mel Gibson in the third one. That
he was
whole
great
scene,
as a villain.
yeah, there's that whole scene that he wrote. Actually, he wrote and shot that scene,
Okay.
and it's like, wow, this guy is. He is great. Always great as doing a lunatic, but that was the best time he ever did a lunatic.
He's a talented guy. There's no question about that. It's too
Yep.
bad he's like completely off the deep end as far
Oh,
as I know.
yeah.
Still waiting for that Passion of Christ 2.0 that they're supposedly making.
Yeah, but
Resurrection or whatever.
oh, they should call it that. But
they will.
Yep. But funny thing was mentioned was comics though. Did you know they actually just it finally got released? You probably heard about it. There was that Expendables Go to Hell comic. Did you hear about that? It was a crowdfunding. It was a crowdfunding thing. So no one was involved with the plotting and all that. But yeah, the Expendables actually, well, they go to hell, but it's one of those cases where once they get out, they wake up and survive and everything. But it's always one of those in their mind type of things. But yeah, you just have you. But it also brings a lot of closure to some of the characters. Like one of the ones they meet up was Hemsworth's character in the second one, Billy, the one that got killed off, really early. Yeah, they bring him back. That's so you have a nice farewell there. Mel Gibson and all the bad guys from the other movies are back just to get one more
Jean-Claude Van Damme,
which I cracked up. Whatever he said after Expendable 2, he said, "I'd love to come back and play my own twin brother." It's like
he's done that in his own movies, I think, a couple times. Not Double Team. What was that called? I've seen like every Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. It is ridiculous. I grew up with all that stuff.
Yeah, seriously. But he's just one of those guys.
Double Impact?
I think it was. But I was like, it's so funny when a lot of those 90s action stars, they can't act their way out of a paper bag, but you don't care. I know, but you don't care because you're just like, oh, wow. But then when you look back, you're like, ugh. I see you, Raymond. But yeah, it's just one of those things where you just like, but you get what I'm saying with it's just, man. But what would you say? Who would you say of all those action stars was the best acted? Actually had a good acting pedigree.
I mean, sadly, probably Mel Gibson. He was so dynamic. He could do action. He could do comedy. He could do drama. I mean, he really ran the gamut.
I would also say Bruce Willis.
I was gonna say Bruce Willis, but
lately though, no. Lately, no.
Like, I feel like at least Gibson in almost all of his movies actually tried. Willis, it seems like he phones it in so much and doesn't give a shit about.
When would you say he gave up? When would you say he gave up?
I think would say Die Hard 4.
What's the last good one I found?
Starting to give up, and then Die Hard 5, he was fully checked out. Yeah, Die Hard 4 was still fine, although
that was a lot of bullets.
Always pissed me off.
Yeah, but
that's still at least fun.
It was
some
fun.
of the creative set pieces, the cars flipping onto the other cars, and
Yep, it's the guy who did Underworld, the same director.
Yeah, I mean, Underworld 1 is fine. It's like
Underworld 1.
It's a poor man's Blade, but you get Kate Beckinsale in hot leather, so that's fine.
Yep. But I would say Arnold also was a decent actor if you give him the right writing and everything.
You gotta have the right direction for the guy. I mean, I love Arnold. I think he's just a cool dude, but Yeah,
Yeah.
he's good. He knows his strengths. I'll say that. Like watching him try to cry in End of Days was tough. It's tough to
Mm,
watch, but that
yeah.
movie is just it
But
is.
I bought it in Batman and Robin. Now, granted, it was a CGI tier, but he set it up for the CGI tier.
Oh my god!
I
Yeah,
know.
he turned pale in that. He was fully white in that movie.
Well, but yeah, but I would say though, funny thing with where do you stand on the Terminator sequels? Are you one who say, oh, anything after 2 sucked? Are you one of those?
Pretty much, yeah. So
I enjoy 3.
I'm like my own worst enemy on a lot of this stuff. Jurassic Park, Terminator, Aliens, Predator. I will keep watching these shitty movies every time they come out and pretend like they're going to be good and then get disappointed all over again. Terminator, as for Terminator specifically, 1 and 2 are gold. 3 is embarrassing, but I
Mm,
still like watch it and think like, why am I watching this every time?
mm-hmm.
Terminator
Salvation,
Salvation's not good.
Genesis.
Genesis is really, really bad. And then I will say Dark Fate. I like Dark Fate. I know I'm in the minority here, and it's
You
weird
are.
to say I like it, but I'm so over Terminator by Dark Fate that
Mm-hmm.
if it can at least be competently directed and like visually look good and have some cool action and characters, I'm good. I don't expect
I
it to
will
be.
always defend. Yep, I will always defend 3. I will always defend 3 because I felt for being. I say it's the best ones of the sequels in my opinion. It felt like, especially without having Cameron involved at all, it should have been a bigger train wreck than it was. But I felt, and also whenever people complain about, oh, they're saying Judgment Day is inevitable, because we're relying more on technology.
Right.
That's why. Back in the old days, you could blow up hardware when Skynet was hardware. Once Skynet became software, there's no
Yeah, it's
stopping
game
it.
over.
You can't. Yeah,
I
you
mean,
can't stop.
Terminator 3, I think is a pretty bad movie. The final moments of that film completely salvage it. Like that
Oh
end
yeah.
twist where they're not
Oh
they're only
yeah.
everybody's gonna die. It's inevitable. I thought that was really cool, and it
Oh
really
yeah.
it put a dark spin on it. I was like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty awesome. As
You
for
went there.
the
They went
I
there.
mean, as for the rest of the movie, the quality dip is gargantuan. It's night and day.
Oh
If you watch Terminator
yeah.
2 and then watch 3,
Oh yeah. That's why I don't watch them in a row. I never watch them in a row.
replacing the main character was a huge mistake.
Well, to be fair though, if I remember, Eddie Furlong was not in the best of place to do it
I'm
anyway.
sure he wasn't, but then like
Nick Stoll. Oh yeah, Nick Stoll. When
here's
you see Nick
here's what
Stoll.
annoys the shit out of me about people bitching about Dark Fate. Everyone's pissed because they killed off John Connor right away and retold the story again. We saw 4 John Connor movies. He's the lamest dude ever. His stories are
Oh
not
yeah.
interesting.
And they re-killed him off in Genesis.
And nobody cared, I guess, when we killed off the best character in Terminator 3 off camera unceremoniously from like
Uh,
leukemia. Like Sarah Connor was
uh,
way better than John
yeah.
Connor, and no one was going woke, woke. Like, come
No, no.
on. I mean, come
Yeah, I
on.
agree with you. I will agree with you on that. But I think my problem is though, you get rid of Skynet and the new replacement. Its tactics are dumb. It's
Oh
like,
yeah, well yeah. I mean, of course, it's all dumb. It's all
yeah,
silly
yeah. It's like, I mean,
nonsense.
it's like Skynet at least had a plan, had good tactics and everything. And Eben Kim, are we mute? We sound fine to each other. It might be just.
We're just live to each other. There's just us two talking for the last hour and a half. It's just
I
us.
know, but I would say this. I would go. Here's how I will say this. I did not. I both hate and yet enjoy Genesis. Genesis is a big guilty pleasure for me because of just they at least tried something different. It's what I would say. They
I
at
only
least tried
saw it
some.
once. I don't remember much of it other than the Game of Thrones actress was really horrid as Sarah
Oh God,
Connor.
I will not argue that. And the guy doing Kyle, what a piece of wood. He was better.
Is that
That's the
Jai
guy.
Courtney?
Yeah, I'm
Jai
like
Courtney is the worst. He's always
not
bad.
as Captain
Always
Boomerang
bad.
though.
He was good in the new one, but that's because James Gunn, I'm convinced, can make anybody a star in it because of his
True.
direction. But he's so bad in everything.
Yeah, I thought he was good in the first one. I mean, in the first Suicide Squad, because then again, I'm a bias to Captain Boomerang, so.
Fair enough. I've seen him though in a dozen movies, and I guess if Captain Boomerang's the best he has to offer,
Oh
we
yeah,
could
yeah.
probably cut
Because like
him
I say,
off.
yeah, him as Kyle. shit, utter crap.
Yeah,
It's mostly because of Arnold, and especially having Arnold versus 85 Arnold. I
sure.
did like
Yeah,
because it's just one of those moments where you're like, you ever thought you wanted to see it, and then you see it, you're like, oh, this is pretty awesome.
I still can't get over how in Terminator, whatever the Christian Bale one was,
Salvation.
I can't get over the fact that they have Kyle Reese in
Mhm,
custody, Skynet does, and instead of just like laser beaming him to death or doing
mhm,
one of a million things, they come up with some cockamamie scheme to have the old Arnold
mhm.
come out yet again to kill him. It's like,
And then they
why?
quickly shoot his face off so
Yeah,
they
it's like
can
just shoot. It's like Austin Powers, like, Dad, I have a gun in my room. Shoot him.
shoot him.
It's done.
Especially since, and that's the other thing is, Salvation is the point where they started to have it be, oh, there's carryovers in each loop,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
then it's like that doesn't make much sense in the
No.
long run. I mean, it does, but then eventually that's set up for Genesis, where they had to be enough iterations happen where Skynet finally decided, why don't I just go back in time sooner and
Yeah.
take over everything and making John a Terminator. I'll say this: if they didn't ruin it in the
They ruined
trailer,
it in the
would have,
trailer. I was going to bring that up. Yeah.
yeah, it's
Would have
like
been
that
a
would have
cool
been a great
twist.
twist.
Would have
That would
been,
have,
yeah.
yeah, but you saw it in the trailer, you're like,
Yeah, that might have
really?
moved things up a little bit if I would have
Yeah,
been
but
dealing with
yeah,
it.
they ruined it, and I gotta say, yeah, the cast. That's why I say the casting. I'm not a big fan of, but it's just something about just the ideas they had in it. It's like they tried something different.
Right.
Dark Fate, then they also tried something different there too, but more so, at least with Genesis, they really try to say, okay, let's stop this time loop thing and just go off the walls.
Well, the thing that, you know, Dark Fate does the thing that a lot of modern movies are doing where they're just basically telling the same story again with new characters, which is getting really lame and old.
Oh
So I
yeah.
get all the criticisms. Believe me, it's
Hmm.
not like I think it's the Citizen Kane of Terminator movies. But
Yeah.
I will say, you know, like how you said you welled up during
And
that
Last Blood.
ridiculous movie. Yeah, Last Blood. I was kind of there on freaking Dark Fate at the end when Arnold sacrifices himself at the
Mhm.
bottom, and I'm like, this is the compelling part of the movie that people are
Oh,
shitting on. Is
some of the
oh
ideas with Arnold, it worked.
he's selling drapes. That's dumb. He's a comic book or he's a caricature. No, no, no. That stuff was kind of cool and
Oh,
deep.
I
I
agree
like
with
that
that.
he
I will agree with
I
that.
like that he was a Terminator and he has no purpose anymore, and he somehow found purpose. That
Exactly.
was kind of neat.
Oh yeah,
They
and
could have
yeah, they.
explored it
Yeah.
more for sure, but
Oh
yeah, people
yeah.
just dismissed it and didn't really. I really don't think they gave it much of a
Mm,
second thought. But whatever.
agreed.
Yeah,
But I will say
whatever.
this though: if there was a movie though, I would have wanted to close out the franchise. They should have just done RoboCop versus Terminator.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it was inevitable at some point. They did the video games and
Yeah, then
everything.
the
So
comic
and the
books and
comics. So.
everything. Yeah, it's just like one of those things where you're like, just do that and end the franchise with it. Just
Well,
like
had
Alien.
they come out, you know, in the last decade, that absolutely would have happened.
Oh yeah. Nowadays with
Yeah,
Arnold and Peter Weller, no way.
yeah, no,
Yeah, you have to do like an animated movie to do that.
right, right.
But now, where do you stand on stuff like like when you have? There's so many book adaptations I've noticed. They've been doing more. They keep on wanting to redo the next Harry Potter, the next Lord of the Rings, and it's like I always feel like these people don't get it when they start doing it because they feel like they're just doing it not because they have the heart or because
Right.
they have good visionaries. Obviously, I'm talking about Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter in those in that order. Because let's
Yeah,
be honest, Lord of the Rings, it was hard. Harry Potter, they got lucky. They got visionaries.
yeah,
But and it's like, but then so many other. There's so too many to list. But it's just like I am not even gonna go buy these books. Why should I care about this movie? I mean, at least
right,
Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter were either big sellers or classics.
right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, those are just like some of my favorite movies of all
Mm-hmm.
time. Those franchises are both so just beautifully done, and you could tell
Yep.
there was heart and soul put into every single portion of those movies.
Yeah.
The Hobbit to a lesser extent, but
Oh yeah.
I love the world, and I will defend the Hobbit with my my
Oh, I
final dying
agree.
breath.
Yeah.
Um,
Friend of mine
Obviously,
and I
there's
actually did a marathon when he was visiting. We watched all the extended editions from Hobbit to Return of the King.
how are the extended of Hobbit? I have not seen those. I only have
They are actually
the
they are really good. They are
Are they?
really
Okay.
good. Yep, they didn't feel like they dragged too much. They actually
Okay.
felt like they added stuff. But I am one of those who say the third movie, Battle of the Five Armies,
Yeah. It's
one just
messy.
glorified fight.
It's very messy, and that
It
one
is.
character that goes absolutely nowhere was just puzzling.
Yep. Yeah.
That like guy that dresses up as a woman and sneaks off, like
Yep.
that went
Oh yeah.
nowhere.
Well, they do kill him off
Do they?
in the
Oh,
extended
in the
edition.
expanded.
He
Okay, so
gets a very worthy death.
it's funny. Peter Jackson does this with two. He's not near as prominent as Saruman was in Lord of the
Oh.
Rings, but the fact that the theatrical cut just kind of forgets about him is
Hmm.
crazy to me.
Yeah,
So
but yeah, but I would say though with at least he was able to also fix a complaint people had about the Eye of Sauron, being all like, oh, why does it look like a reptile? And he says, who says a reptile? That's him where you see the eye, that's his silhouette. I'm like,
oh yeah,
okay,
that's so cool. That's so
that's a
cool.
good that's a good retcon. That
Well,
is a good
they show that in the Hobbit. So it's
yeah, that's
fantastic.
what I'm saying. That's
Yeah,
what I love about it. It's like because beforehand, it's like you're just like, why does he look like a reptile? Like, or even they're saying, oh, but he didn't mean it literally. It's like,
yeah,
well, okay, well, how's this? Okay, it actually makes more sense. It's not so
yeah.
much his eye; it's his silhouette turning around.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It was a great. So it was something they threw in after the fact for the
Yep, and
Hobbit.
the extent,
Okay.
yeah, with that one guy, because yeah, I mean, I looked read it up how he didn't die. I'm like, well, how did he die? Oh, it is, and you got a few more. Again, those extended
Well, that
editions.
scene. I mean, it's in the theatrical, but the scene where we get all three of the wizards fighting for
Hmm.
that tiny portion, I thought was
Hmm.
so awesome. I think it's in Battle of the Five Armies
Yes, yes,
when
it
they go to
is.
save Gandalf.
Yeah, exactly. They were
And
all
you got
there, and
the Lady of the Wood there, and
yep.
yeah,
Oh, and I am so glad Hugo Weaving came back for this
Hugo
at least.
Weaving. Yeah,
Yep,
Weaving's
he's not coming
awesome.
back. Yep, he's not coming back for any of the other stuff, but he felt worthy enough to come back for this because
Hmm, hmm.
he's done with blockbusters, and I don't blame him.
Yeah,
It's like after Transformers and after Red Skull, I gotta say him as Red Skull I both liked, but you could so tell that he was there was a bit of him that enjoyed it, but you could also tell part of him that felt like, what am I doing?
yeah. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of that movie in general, so it just seemed like it was.
Yeah. Oh, hey, but I will always like the director of that movie. Oh, of the first Avenger.
No idea who did it.
He did Rocketeer. He did Jurassic World.
He did
Uh,
Jurassic World.
yeah, same guy.
Was Colin Trevor did the second Jurassic World,
Uh,
or is he
actually,
doing a new one?
wait, no, you're right. Colin Trevor did Jurassic World. No, sorry, he did Jurassic Park 3.
Okay, Jurassic Park 3. Yeah,
That's what I got mixed up on.
Jurassic Park 3.
Oh boy, but hey,
Alan.
yeah, Alan. Like I said,
I told you Jurassic Park. There's another one where the first movie is the only one, and it's like my favorite movie of all time. I fucking love
I thought
Jurassic Park.
World was good. I thought World was
No,
good.
I
Even
don't
though,
like World. I don't like it. I refuse to hear anything other than it's schlocky.
well, if
It could
there's,
be intentionally schlocky, but it's
but I'll
schlocky.
say, oh, I will at least say this: there's one moment in the movie that made me pop because I don't care for Lost World, but I love the score from it.
Oh yeah,
And there's a point where when you see, right when you see Blue, the raptor running at the, to help the T Rex,
Oh,
and
I'm
you
sorry.
hear that,
I'm sorry. Hang on. Did I say I like Jurassic World? I don't like Lost World. Maybe I said it
oh,
wrong.
Lost
Yeah,
World,
I don't like Lost World.
the music on Lost World.
Jurassic World's fine. It's good. It's
Yeah.
another one of those soft
Okay.
reboots,
You.
but it's
I
fine.
know,
Yeah.
but I love that moment when you hear that riff from like
Yeah.
bum 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 bum,
Oh
and
yeah.
it's just like, yeah,
It's the
but
first movie where you see the park open too. So it does
exactly.
some cool things for sure. I
Then
like
Fallen
Jurassic World.
Kingdom,
Oh
great
my god.
setup for a next movie, but horrible execution getting there. It's
I
like
wouldn't even. Yeah. I mean, I guess great setup. What the hell was the clone girl? That was so bizarre.
I think they were trying to go with, and the whole thing is
Let's
like
just
they're
let the
like me.
dinosaurs out because I'm a clone
They're like
girl.
me.
What? And the
What?
adults are like, yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah, we'll let him go.
Uh,
What could go
yeah,
wrong?
yeah. I can't wait to see. At least they had. It's one of those cases where horrible, but it's going to probably pay off big time. I hope was the next one. Just this idea of people now have to deal with dinosaurs in the world,
We'll see.
especially after
Yeah.
they revealed when Park 3 was supposed to end with that, and then they revealed, oh no, those pteranodons that flew off. Oh Vince Vaughn, and not Vince Vaughn.
Vince
Jeez.
Vaughn's Vince Vaughn's in the second one.
Yeah, no, yeah, I know, no, oh, um, Law and Order seat, Criminal Intent.
Is he? I don't know who. Like Sam Neill,
No,
Jeff Goldblum.
no. I'm talking about in Jurassic World. Um, Vincent D'Onofrio.
Okay.
Yeah, his character turns out he shot down those pterodons. That was revealed in the stuff in between movies. That's how he got the position he got, because he shot down the pterodons that
Oh
flew
my
off at the
God.
end of
Why didn't they
Jurassic
just
Park.
use the book excuse? So I don't know if you've read the book, but they make
Jurassic
it. Yeah, they
Lost
make.
World.
Well, the first one, they make it very
Mhm.
clear that the dinosaurs cannot leave the island because of this ricin or something
Yeah. Oh
that they
yeah.
feed the dinosaurs that basically, or it's a type of plant life or something they need to
Yeah.
live. So they'll die if they leave. They won't have it in their system.
Yep.
So,
Oh yeah, but in this case, nope. They had to be killed them before they made it to the
wow,
mainland
yeah,
and
there was
all
a
that.
sharpshooter that took them all out, huh? Okay.
Yep. And then I guess also one of the dumbest things I ever heard was when they revealed, oh, that brontosaurus at the very end when the island was blowing up and they see it in the smoke. Oh, that was the first brontosaurus from the first movie. I'm like,
Oh my God, the one that like sneezes on them.
yeah, no,
Like,
not that one. I'm talking about the very
oh, the one
beginning.
that like goes up and
Yeah,
goes down, and
boom.
you're like,
That's the
whoa, yeah.
one that you see before, like, and they're saying like, oh, it was the first one you saw on the island. It's the last thing you see on the
Who
island. I'm
said
like,
that? Who said that?
one of the writers said that on
Oh
Twitter,
my God,
revealed on
what a
Twitter,
hack. What a
and I'm
hack.
like, what? Yeah, exactly. What the heck?
What
It's just
all?
like, yeah, it's like, why reveal? Why not reveal that in the movie? Oh, cause you can't spell that out in the
How many
movie.
years have gone by between
Well,
these movies where that brontosaurus is still alive
well,
even? Like
Rexy's still alive.
yeah, what's the life expectancy of a dinosaur?
Well,
I mean,
to make it fair, they have made it clear they've kept people like Rexy, and I guess that Brontosaurus. They've actually made sure they kept them alive, so it's outliving where a T Rex and all that stuff would normally live.
I don't
And
know
come
what they
on,
would normally live. Like dogs only live like 10 years, 10 to 13 years. What's a
oh
dinosaur live?
yeah,
I
oh
guess like
yeah,
I guess prehistoric turtles, they live like a freaking long time. They can live
that
like
is something they've
100 years.
always kept. They've
Yeah.
always kept. Hey, one other set of movies I'm gonna ask, and we're gonna start wrapping up because
Yeah,
I'm
let's
starting to
wrap
get a
it
little
up.
tired. Pixar, with the Pixar movies, would you say that they've lost a lot of their magic over the years? Because it kind of feels like they don't feel that special like they used to. They
They
feel
definitely
good. They
don't feel
feel
special,
amazing.
yeah. They don't feel
Yeah,
special.
yeah, just
I feel like again, it's so hard to keep track of all the movies coming out and what
yeah.
studios are actually
Oh yeah,
responsible
what's
for them.
Pixar? What's Disney? You can't even
Right.
tell anymore.
Their animation studios have kind of blended together a little
Yeah.
bit. I mean, they just released a new I don't know, I think it's just Disney, it's not Pixar, but they
Mm-hmm.
released a new movie on Disney Plus, I think, this week. I have
Yeah.
no idea what it is. It
Yeah.
starts with
Me
a C.
neither. And
I
then you
didn't
have
see a trailer.
Lightyear coming
I
out,
don't care about
and
that at all.
yeah,
What
me
a
neither.
weird concept.
Yeah, but I think the last time they had the magic was Toy Story 3. I think 3 was the last time they had the
What, well,
magic.
was Coco after Toy Story 3? Because I thought Coco was a beautiful
Yes,
movie.
yes, and I will agree with you on that one. Coco. Well,
The middle of
yeah,
it's messy, but the beginning and end are just it's like Up. The middle of
yeah,
Up is like, but the
yeah.
first and last moments are really good.
Well, once you got
Um,
Monster University and Toy Story 4, oh, Toy Story 4.
yeah, that was whatever. I didn't mind it. I
I
didn't
I
mind it.
feel like it was meant. That was it's two movies slammed together, two of their direct to video slammed together, and I just did not like how it just dumped on everything 3 did. It just you had
Yeah,
Bonnie just disregard Woody. You had, Woody then decide like, oh, being played with is more important than my friends. All this
yeah.
stuff. It just felt like, and at the very end, Tim Allen was right when he said that the emotional impact was not there at the end. The fact that Woody was just so willing to just be like, see you guys, I'm going up with Bo because I have a purpose.
Well, I'll push back a little. I do think that it did give him purpose because he was kind
Oh
of
no.
flailing with the fact that Andy left him and he wasn't
Mm-hmm.
really finding his place with the new people or with the little girl. He liked her,
Right.
but
Oh
there was a
yeah.
part of him that did go missing. So I don't know. It was fine. I think Toy Story peaked at 2, so I'm not like
Mm-hmm.
so invested with it anyways.
Okay, that's
Um,
fair.
Inside Out is just a brilliant movie.
Oh
I've
yeah.
grown to appreciate it way more than I did initially. I find
Mm-hmm.
more to like every time. I do
Yep.
not like Soul.
Really? I have not seen it
No,
myself, but
I
yeah.
didn't like it.
All right, that's fair.
I was hoping it was it's so weird because they had a cool concept,
Hmm.
but then they do the thing that's been done in so many bad movies where they have the two people go back to Earth, the two
Hmm.
souls, and
Hmm.
they body swap. So
Oh
David
yeah,
Hayes' character goes in the guy, and he goes in a dog or something. Like what?
yeah.
And they do this for a majority of the film. So
Oh
it's
brother,
just
I have
weird.
not
Yeah.
seen. Now I have not seen Soul, so oh boy, but again, yeah,
Onward
just
was Onward was pretty mediocre.
yeah, it just feels like they've been stretched so thin with
Yeah.
stuff. They don't. I'm not saying was it because of, did last year give them that spark? I'm not saying that, but you can't. It kind of coincides with the timing of him being ousted and everything, where it feels like now. I
I
look
mean,
at that more of the
Incredibles
case where
2 wasn't that great either.
no, it wasn't. I mean, especially when you had some. Now, this is a kid where I would say there were so many comics that were good continuations that are like, nope, gone.
Yeah.
Because you had Mark Waid, the guy who best known for writing his Fantastic Four run, among other things, but especially that, doing a bit one of the first comic family in superheroes. He's doing a big superhero family,
Yeah.
perfect. And but yeah, was that just felt like you had to do the twist and everything, and
Well, it was the
uh,
same exact movie again. It was just
oh yeah,
weird
the
that
same.
they took over a decade to make a sequel that really was the same movie, just gender swapped. You know, the husband now the wife's dealing with the same stuff.
What does
But
it
yeah,
say that Channel Awesome did a bit with their fanscription, did a better idea for the second one than what we actually got?
I I know Channel Awesome. I haven't watched any of them for a
Oh
long
yeah,
time,
oh
so I
yeah.
can't
The
attest.
video they did basically was like, what if they actually aged by the time things happen? So what if we actually had an older Dash, an older
Oh,
Violet,
sure.
an older Jack, and actually played up to it? It was a much better idea than what we got. It was just like, ugh.
I mean, I feel like there was a lot of ideas that would have been better than what we got. Yeah, it's just weird that Brad Bird's like, I finally got a script that works. Like, it's the same script. It took you this
Yeah,
long to make the
exactly.
same movie, Brad.
The only thing I liked about that was Violet's character because Violet's always been my favorite.
Yeah,
So I
Violet's
actually
great.
like,
Yeah.
yeah. But overall, though, it's just such a shame that Pixar's just lost so much of that magic that now it just feels like, oh, Pixar, whatever. It
They
used to
do
be a
seem
case where,
like
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I do also think that other studios are catching up in terms of some of the quality they're putting out
Oh
over the
yeah.
years. I mean, the How to Train Your Dragon series, I think,
Oh
is
yeah.
just brilliant. And
That
even
was DreamWorks. Yeah.
yeah,
Kung Fu
DreamWorks,
Panda. Kung Fu
Kung Fu
Panda.
Panda, not so much three, but the first two, I
Oh
think,
yeah.
really, they really shined.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's not so much Pixar as maybe losing a step as much as other people are kind of coming up to the plate. Like, you know what,
Right.
Pixar, you got to maybe try a little harder than you are because we
True.
got other
And Disney
studios doing it.
stepping up too.
Disney stepped up. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're all like I said, it's just all kind of morphing together.
Yeah, it
And then
is.
Illumination's over there doing their thing.
Oh boy, with the Mario Brothers stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Chris Pratt, he can voice everyone.
He apparently is.
I will say this last bit, very last thing. Was Chris Pratt doing Mario? I think they're going for the Brooklyn accent. I
Well,
don't
I'm
think
sure
they're
they
going for
are.
the.
Yeah, I'm sure they
Yeah,
are.
they're not doing the Italian. I think that's why they
Yeah,
hired him
that's
because
fine. It could work.
yeah,
Who knows?
yep. So Adam, thank you so much for coming on. It was great just talking movies with you.
Yeah, of
It's
course, Robert. It's what I
yep,
love doing. Talk
yep.
for hours.
So
Yeah, I
yep,
guess we did.
yep. So what's the next video you besides Home Alone 2 you have
Well,
in the works?
we touched upon them. So we got Home
Yep.
Alone, defending Home Alone 2,
Mm-hmm.
defending Ghostbusters 2,
Right.
and then the Ghostbusters Afterlife review. I'll be seeing
Right.
that Thursday. I'll rank the Ghostbusters movies. It's
Mm-hmm.
probably going to be the lamest ranking ever. I probably already know how it's going to go, but we'll see.
Yep.
I
But
think there was one
yeah.
other movie we talked about that I was
Ooh.
also doing on the channel. Oh, Die Hard. Die Hard, the Christmas
Die Hard.
movie.
Oh yeah.
Every freaking Christmas, this shit comes up. Every holiday season, Twitter trends, it's everywhere.
Yeah, I've been in
Die
a
Hard.
Christmas movie.
Is it
It's
a Christmas movie?
It's
Of course it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
It
Same with
is-
Gremlins. Same with Gremlins.
I'll bring that up as well. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Gremlins, Frosty the Snowman, Die Hard. What do they have in common? They're all Christmas movies.
Yeah, they're all
Thank
Christmas
you.
movies. Oh yeah. Now Gremlins 2? Hell no.
No. I still love Gremlins 2, but not a Christmas
Oh
movie.
yeah. Yep. Die Hard 2 is technically, but I'll say this. Die Hard 1 is more of a Christmas movie than Die Hard 2 is.
Yeah, Die Hard 2's, I mean, whatever. You could throw it in, but Die Hard 2 is just not near as good as Die Hard 1, so why are we even talking about it?
I know. 3 blew it out of the water, but that was
Yeah.
that's just the funny thing about Die Hard. all the movies were meant to be something else, and then they
Yeah.
just made it like, let's just toss them into the
I was
franchise.
gonna say I wasn't sure if you were aware that that was a Lethal Weapon
Yeah.
script that they
Oh, really? Yeah.
repurposed. Yeah.
Simon Says and all that.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
Well, and just because you have the duo with Samuel L.
oh,
Jackson
yeah.
together the whole time.
Oh my God. Okay, I did not know that. Oh my God, that makes so much sense.
I do think it's funny that John McClane always has a buddy black friend in every one of these movies, and then just
Oh yeah, the first one.
and then pasty white Justin Long in the fourth one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the second
right.
one he does too. He has that other guy that
Yeah.
really bad actor, the weather control dude or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So thanks around everyone who's for sticking around, and
Yeah,
I'll
thanks
see
for
you.
watching.
Yep. See you all in the next one. Take care.